And so Kevin then calls his people creamers for some reason. I don't even understand. And then
What the fuck, Quincy?
You guys talking
What
about
the hell?
creamers?
I was doing my shtick, and you interrupted it. This is a breach of contract.
I signed nothing.
That is correct. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Wild Beyond the Witchlight D&D. How you all doing? Thank you all so much for joining us on this glorious Tuesday. For all the new viewers in the chat, how you doing? Welcome to our chaotic Feywild story. For the people who follow us from day one, my camera, my background's a little bit different than normal, and so is Aiden's, because both of us are not in the places we usually are. I am on location doing a shoot for my other media job currently, so I'm in the hotel right now, but I'll be damned if we miss a goddamn session of Witchlight. And we're doing a back-to-back stream for the first time in a while. So for those of you who have been watching, usually we do bi-weekly streams, but next week wasn't great for most people. So we didn't want to miss the action for you guys or get long periods in between. So we decided to do back-to-back streams. And for the lovely Cheide in there, just moved into a brand new space, brand new apartment. Operating out of your brand new streaming office.
Ta-da! I am a professional gamer now.
Damn right. Just seeing the building blocks of a brand new space about to come to life.
Oh yeah, so many weapons.
Got a sick new camera. So if you are watching the stream and you start to see this, yeah, just like that. That's why. So if weird things happen and you just see like, oh my god, yeah, it's gonna be lots of new things being introduced to this stream. We are not going to take much more of your time, everybody. We're going to go through a usual spiel and dive right back into our story. But first things first, everybody, we're going to chat about our amazing sponsor of the stream and all the Dicecream stuff. C4 Labs, everybody, an amazing company that makes great TTRPG dice trays and amazing accessories and products for all your D&D needs. They've been a big supporter of our show, our content over on the Dicecream side of things. And we love them to death. They make amazing products. You can even own these goddamn dice trays with our logos on them in various sizes and colors. So if you want to support the stream, you want to support D&D shows like ours, please do us a massive favor. Go over to c4labs.com. Check out some of their stuff if you're in need of some fun D&D products. And make sure you use Dicecream15 code to get 15% off your first purchase. They also have an amazing dice drawer that just came out that I'm a huge fan of. If you're somebody who owns a lot of dice and you're not sure how to organize them or there's all over the place, the dice drawer is a great gift for anybody who's got shit all over the place. So head over to C4 Labs, Dicecream 15. We'd really appreciate it. Also, on the menu for today, there are some exciting news coming from a particular event that is going to be happening next year, championed, led by the one and only Quincy. Maybe Quincy, I'd give it over to you so you can tell the people some exciting news about a certain event coming up.
Oh, yeah, we have the Convergence coming up in May 2023, the first week in May. If you would love to join us, come at Evermore Park. All of us here you see on screen will be at Evermore Park for the weekend and for the week. And you can come and check us out there Friday and Saturday. If you want a little something extra and spend more time with us, playing some Dungeons and Dragons and having some cool, just like chill time and whatnot, and just chatting and talking, playing games and things, and just hanging out at Evermore Park. There is a VIP experience as well that is half sold out. It is officially half sold out, so there are only
50% sold out.
Limited tickets for a VIP experience is half sold out at the Convergence events. But we would love to see you for the weekend if you can't make it for the whole week. And there are plenty of weekend passes available, and we'd love to see you there. Quincy's Tavern is coming to Evermore Park for the Convergence, and just want to hang out with you guys. Hope to see you there.
Get your tickets. Damn right. If you've ever wanted to just hang out in literally Quincy's Tavern, you will be able to coming next year. And we're several months away and tickets are already 50% off. Why haven't you bought your tickets yet? What is wrong with you? Get on it. Go to the Convergence website. Grab your spot. It's going to be an event you will not want to miss. So you can say you were at the very first numero uno convergence event. So, with all that out of the way, everybody, I think it is time. So everybody watching at home, everyone on stream, grab your favorite drinks, grab your favorite dice. Take a little trip over to the
recap video
for tonight's session of Wild Beyond the Witchlight.
But first, a recap.
But first,
Just wait a little bit.
yes, I forgot last time. Sorry, but before we do that, of course, how could I forget? Last session we did not have a recap video, but usually, most of the time, on stream for Wild Beyond the Witchlight, we have an amazing recap video edited by the one and only Jackie Elena Chanelrier to get any new streamers, new viewers up on our story so you don't miss a beat of what happened on our last session. Let's take that. Let's go there right now. Take it away, Johnny Rose.
Last time on Wild Beyond the Witchlight.
This doesn't seem friendly!
Round two.
So he's like, his heart is really passionate in his plea for this thing to become friendly.
Don't listen to him. Don't do it.
Just stops dead in its tracks, leans forward a little bit, and sits on its butt.
What did you do to him?
Friend, thank you. I protect.
Wait,
Didn't she
the shadow.
That's right, the shadow, because when we were starting the fight. Oh god.
Deep black footprints making its way over to a window that you see is open ajar.
I probably am starting to not listen, like, and kind of, as I'm like, not listen anymore to what you guys are saying and start to look at the portrait.
But some of the brambles do kind of scratch in your arms.
I deserve this. I deserve this. Fine. Almost a sorrowful punishment to himself. And then he walks out. He walks out of the room. He just doesn't say anything. He walks out.
Where's Quincy?
I was gonna check on Quincy. You don't usually exit quietly. You're all right.
Just shuffles the cards and is with my sisters. The last time I saw Crystal was a few years ago. With her neck bleeding and a spear in her side. And for lack of a better way, it was me who put that spear there. She loved the stars. She pointed up at that one right there. And she said, I'll watch you from that one.
You notice that up on the ledge, there's a few children up there, and you start to hear screams. The children! No! They found him! They're not here! Come here! Come here! There you go, everybody. You are now all caught up on the last session of Wild Beyond the Witchlight, which means now grab your favorite drinks, now grab your favorite dice, as we dive on into tonight's session of Wild Beyond the Witchlight. Yo, all that done and out of the way, pick up immediately where we last left off, with the party having arrived in the HQ in the Feywild Forest of the Getaway Gang and Little Oak, only to be confronted by a very humongous blue-skinned demon-looking monster known as an Oni. The party took flight, headed straight forward. I was trying to crawl up the gnarled bark roots of the elevated naturist patch that Little Oak tree ant was situated on, with the rest of the children being protected by the tree ant and the Oni crawling up to try to get at them. Your party raced forward to attack this monster, going through a full round of combat, getting in lots of good hits, lots of good glaive strikes, all that stuff. We left off with Moss dealing the final blow with their glaive, only getting a giant hit right into the shoulder blade. The rest of you were able to see Oni's face change ever so slightly. That to the face of a very young 11-year-old boy, who what you had been privy to earlier, which was the leader of this game character known as Will of the Feywild. You saw the portrait on a wanted poster earlier and saw their face just for a second change into that very same portrait and then change back into the Oni. That was the little cliffhanger they were left on. So, all that out of the way, we pick up at the start of the second round of combat, which I believe was Arctreon. No.
Yeah. Oh.
Arctreon, it is your go. You are directly in front of the Oni, so you do see this very rapid face change for just a second. But for you, it's kind of a confusing call for you. You either want to continue to deal the blows, or do you want to do something different?
I feel like you can kind of beat the demon out of somebody. You know, I feel like
From Bob Ross says.
it's just, you know what? Yeah, gotta beat the devil out of it. Gotta beat the devil out of it. You know, I feel like I'm just gonna keep, you know me, I gotta keep swinging on this one. But I still have my exploding flums too.
You do. One already exploded. I don't know if you generated another one yet.
No, I haven't generated another one, but I think it automatically does. Number 3.
Artron, did you see that face change just now?
I saw something, but I'm not too sure.
Are we beating up a kid?
For legal reasons, no.
And just like starts to run back at you with furious.
Okay.
Isn't he restrained? Isn't the
restrained.
Oni still restrained? The Oni's still restrained, right?
Yep.
Oh
Right,
yeah,
yes.
from
Like another spirit. Oh, okay.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
Ebby's
what that red
vines.
dot is. So, Arctron is currently in rage mode
Okay, yep.
with his wild magic Barbarian effects happening. Ebby did do a
Entangle, stay.
entangle. Yes, that is correct.
Okay. So, in this rage, I catch the flash, but I look back and conjure another flump, another exploding flump. And this time, I like immediately throw it in his face. That's the first one. So I think it's a DC of 12, but it takes 1d6 force damage.
So that's the entangle.
Ah! Am I entangled? No.
No, they
Okay.
Ebby
did just
specifically
in
did the entangle, so it was
That's
right
enough.
sort of on the Oni's corner and then went outward from you guys.
Okay. Here, hold this. So no, but I do like grab it and I do like shove it into his chest as a first attack.
Okay, roll back.
Oh no, it's an automatic. You have to make. What is this?
Dexterity saving throw.
Yeah, you need to make a DC of 12.
Okay. First roll of the game, up to me.
Please explode. Please explode.
18.
Is it disadvantage because you're restrained?
Oh, actually, hold on.
What?
I believe so. I'm
There's
just gonna
dexterity.
check. Disadvantage on dexterity saving throws.
Yes.
Oh, Quincy, okay. Higher.
Oh my god, okay, all right.
Okay.
It's okay, it's okay. He's got high dex.
First one was a 15, second one was an 18. So you see, as we described the Oni before, this very large, hulking, muscular, blue-skinned, demon monster-looking thing with long fingers, elongated, sharp black nails coming out of its feet and out of its hands. Almost like something like a perverse version of Hulk. You can see like muscle fibers rippling out of its blue turquoise skin. Had a sort of tan brown cloak that its body was kind of hidden on when I was trying to climb up that little bit of cliff face towards the tree and the rest of the children. The wispy, thin white hair, whipping and thin, very large yellow eyes with beady irises, sharp teeth, little horns coming out of the top of the head, and with these entangled vines constantly ripping out of the ground, trying to restrain him, as you guys are able to do blow after blow, hit after hit. Then you see some of the vines kind of snapping as it's using its strength to rip through and try to grab you. But Archeon, as you kind of take a step back, position your axe, go for another blow, go for the jump, the wisps of dark fey kinetic energy wisping off your form and your rage mode. You go for a hit, you see its arm kind of restrained by the vines, but as your axe goes down, it's able to rip out of the vines, it misses so slightly. A group of vines rip out of the ground, grab it back up.
Okay. Then I will make my 2 attacks.
Okay.
Oh, 9. That's obviously not going to do anything.
It's a miss.
You get advantage though because he's restrained though.
That's correct.
That is correct. 14. That is 20. Dirty 20.
Woohoo!
That's for the first one. That's 4. Nat 20.
Let's go.
Nat 20. I will make note that I'm not aiming for anything vital. I'm aiming for like legs, so I don't like kill the kid.
Okay. So in case this is a kill shot, you want to knock them out, is what you're saying.
Yes, I would like to just kind of like, you're on the ground now and not dead.
Okay, so this is a fun little a new. I'm adding in a new rule.
Okay.
In celebration of 10K followers
Yay!
on the Dicecream Twitch channel, which I did forget to mention at the start of our stream, which, by the way, thank you all so much for making that happen. I am introducing some 1 D&D rules from the playtest, which means when you do crit, you get a D4 of inspiration for yourself to add to any roll that you like. It is a reroll. So you get to do a reroll of whatever you choose.
Okay.
For yourself. And in the instance that you just have it on deck and you haven't used it yet, but again, you can't double the inspiration for yourself, but you are allowed to give that free reroll to any of your party members.
So like a free luck point?
Yeah. Pretty much, yes.
Yes.
Okay. Got it here.
Hey, you got a free luck point.
All right.
Not too bad. I just gotta remember to use it.
The first one hit, and the second one was a crit.
Both of them were actually 20, which is hilarious. But yes.
Dirty 20 to natural, yeah.
Yes. So for the first one, this is the damage for the first one. Da 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 da. 1d10 plus 9. 12 for the first one. Oh, excuse me, that's a D. Sorry, no, reroll because that was a D10, not a D20. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Or 12, excuse me. 4. Wow, that's not that great either, but 7 for the first one, and for the second hit, which was crit. Please be high numbers. Now there's 7, so that's 14.
Okay.
Woo!
Woohoo!
14 altogether?
So, no, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Plus 2 points on each of them. 1
plus 4. 21 plus 4.
25.
25. Woo! Okay.
Nice.
And I think that's all the points accumulated for that one. And I'm going to do nothing. I'm going to just chill here.
After he hits, do we see the face turn back again?
Yeah, so after your hit, boss, after you hit with that glaive, you saw that face twitch just for a second, almost like a little boy's face just emerged through the light blue skin of the Oni monster and then go back in. So after these hits, going again and again, brutal, extremely brutal, uncaged, rage-filled axe hits going onto the Oni, almost like the rage that's surging through you, Archeon. You're not able to hold back, but you're able to just a bit from hitting any vital wounds or anything that would be a kill shot, like the rage, like the veins pumping out of the sides of your heads, through your pectorals, through your biceps. You try to go for that hit, you miss, and just like the Incredible Hulk, this
Get
surge
angrier.
of goes through you like, ugh. The fangs get a bit larger, the mane grows a bit bigger, and you whip out that double-bladed axe again, and you're about to go for the neck, but you
sorry.
and it goes to the side, and right now the Oni is like restrained from the vine, so it's just like a pinata, and you deep cut right into the ribs, like the blade goes in about several inches. Almost like an axe going to a big, thick piece of wood. It takes you a bit to nudge it out of the side. And you do another big strike, and a big gash goes along of the exposed chest of the Oni, causing a huge gash to go down from one end to the other, skin ripping open as orange and purple blood starts to pour down the Oni's chest. Huge roar rages out. The face still intact a little bit, hasn't changed back to the little boy's face that you saw, but just lets out a powerful roar, and you've got it on the ropes. You can see lots of blood kind of coming out of the sides and from the front, so you did 2 big hits.
Okay. 2 things. One, I'm going to look back at everybody like,
It's the boy that's on the wanted poster.
Will of the Wild.
Sure.
That!
Lucifer shouts out, how much was his cost for return again?
I mean,
Not important!
That's a generally
I
important
start rolling
question.
up my notes to bat him on the nose.
Maybe it's cursed like the other fellow.
He's asking the pressing questions of today.
The important questions of the day.
But I forgot, because I did use bolstering magic, that for 10 minutes, the creature can roll a d3, whatever, making an attack roll or ability check, and add it to the roll number to the d20 on the... Oh, wait. D20 roll. Never mind. Excuse me. That doesn't... Never mind. Never mind.
All right.
Misreading.
So doing those 2 attacks, you take a couple steps back, shout that out to your party, and now it is the Oni's turn. So with the entangle, I believe he has to make a roll. Is it Dex again to try to break out, or strength?
Strength 15.
Okay.
Boy.
And since this is not a Dex save, it will not be a disadvantage, but he is definitely going to try. Actually. What? Yep. No. Huge gashes go through the Oni, and you see the Oni kind of buckle. If it wasn't for the restraining vines from the entangle spell, you might have seen the Oni like fall forward greatly from the pain, but the vines prop up the Oni. The wisps of gray hair falls down in front of the face. Archer, you yell to the party, I think this is Will of the Feywild from the Wanted posters! And you're kind of like getting more into defensive stance and aggressive. As your party kind of talks amongst themselves, you see the Oni kind of flop forward. And you think maybe they've been knocked out. Maybe they're unconscious. And you and Moss kind of look at each other, and then you kind of like lean into a little bit to see if maybe it's dead. And then you just hear...
Did you kill it?
I have no idea.
Under the wisp of the breath of the Oni, this
God.
light blue energy start to come from the Oni's mouth. Wisps of dry ice clouds start to come out either sides. And a cone of cold comes out from the Oni's mouth, hitting both Arctreon and Moss.
At disadvantage because we have fur.
You need both to make a Constitution saving throw.
Ah.
But also, it might hit other people as well.
Oh God. Okay, it's
If
okay.
it's corn of
thought it was
cold.
I was smart this time.
That was a natural 20 plus 1, 21.
Actually,
Gotta be.
Uh-oh.
Not Abby, but you could definitely aim it this way.
no, it'll.
Hit everyone?
Really?
It will, I think. Actually, no, it will miss Abby, but Quincy and...
Yep.
Yeah, Quincy and Lucifer. This small bit of dry ice comes out of the Oni's mouth. And it's insane, a 60-foot cone.
Oh my
This cone of
gosh.
cold energy whips out of all of you. So I need all 4 of you to make Constitution saving throws, please.
Mine was a nat 20, by the
let's
way.
go.
Yours was a nat 20. Okay.
Uh-huh.
It heals you.
17.
It just singes my tail.
Mine was a 15 plus 1, so 16.
25.
5. So you all actually saved.
Nice.
Uh,
Half damage.
yeah, so it's going to be half
Oh,
damage.
Punch it in the face back. Like, no. Whack.
It was actually a 15 plus 4 for the saving throw, so a 19.
Okay.
Oh.
My saving throw is a plus 4 for Constitution because that's what we upgraded.
I'm going to use the roll here for D20 as I do not have the amount of dice needed for this roll on me. I just have a set of dice, but this is going to be 8d8 cold damage.
Oh, thank God we saved.
You have to roll for your own damage. Everybody would have to just to save him the dice.
8d8.
Okay, so not bad. So that is 33. Half down.
16? 17?
16 points of
16.
cold damage to all
Oh
of you.
boy.
Blech!
Ugh.
I'm only resistant to heat and fire.
That's
The cold.
How much was it damage?
I hate the
16
cold.
points of cold damage. As
That's
most of you are able to like get out of the way from getting the brunt of it, but as you jump and maneuver and go, Archer and Moss being like point blank range, both of you are able to, oh shit! Archer puts up his, you push off each other, like do kind of a barrel roll, able to get sort of the brunt of your axe up, Archer, to kind of be almost a shield so it just misses your face, but singes the rest of your fur and onto the rest of your heavy hide armor. Same with you, Moss. You kind of push Mark around, do like a little bit of a somersault roll, get out the glaive and just helicopter it around to try to fend off the oncoming blast from the cone of cold. And the rest of you get singed on the arms, get singed on the legs, like getting dry ice directly on contact with your skin. It stings like nobody's business. The feeling of like hot and cold mixing together, numb at first, and then just intense stinging pains as it hits you. And Ebby being far enough away, it just kind of drenches at the side of your feet as all of the grass underneath you just becomes like icicles and starts to break underneath.
Hellish Rebuke.
It's icy hot.
All right, so I got to make another deck save at disadvantage.
Yes.
Okay.
You're not going to hit me and not pay for it.
Ooh, that's a 10.
Rebuke about it.
It's a 10?
Yeah.
You needed a Dex 15 to save.
Yes.
So,
Light it up.
takes 2d10 fire damage.
Nice.
That's my d10. Make sure. No, that's my d12. Okay, 2d10. Or 10. Shut up! Hang on. Wait.
Ah,
I'm
he's
gonna-
got the camera.
Hello, Doc. I see you in the background. you might not be able to see, but it is a 0 for
So-
a
yay,
10.
10!
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Did you
So
do max
My-
damage?
My roommate
Full
confirms that it's a
fire
0. I did
damage.
max damage.
Nice.
20 damage.
You did 2 10s in a row.
Yeah, right?
Let's
2
go.
10s in
Yeah.
a row?
Yep.
Yeah, 2 10s in a row.
Woo!
Oh my god.
Man, it's
All
on
right,
fire.
so
That was a
max
good Hellish
damage
Rebuke.
on Hallows Rebuke. Lucifer, what do you want this fiery response to look like?
Yeah.
You basically crit with your damage.
Pause real quick. At higher levels, when you cast a spell using a spell slot of 2nd level or higher, which I'm not, the damage increases by 1d. So is this a? No, it's a first. Okay, cool. So it's just 20.
Yeah.
It's great.
Still great. Still
So
amazing.
good.
Yeah.
I think you got him.
Lots of fire.
I think you
Yeah.
got him.
So Lucifer, wanting nothing more, after being hit with this cord, after landing the 2 beautiful shots with this longbow, being so happy, then to see this creature show the face of a boy, but because of how quickly the face came through, and he was like, ah, it was almost like Venom from Spider-Man. The boy looked like he was in some sort of pain, and he had a flashback to his childhood of being forced in the ring to fight all these warriors to the point of exhaustion and beyond by his father. He says, I'm getting this boy out of this creature, out of this pain. We're freeing him and putting him at peace. As he's thinking these heroic thoughts, which is very rare of Lucifer, he gets hit with these cold, and he hates cold more than many things in his life, and just instinctually
More
just
than
goes
feelings.
and hits him full force because of how much he hates cold, and just returns the favor double fold with Hallows Rebuke.
Yes.
Like pull down moss again because it's like a fireball going like. Duck!
Oh, I'm like trying to get icicles off my fur. And,
So Lucifer very much like an anime just goes and just fire.
So as a cone of cold is kind of raging through this constant beam of energy, some of you are able to defend it, block, get out of the way, but still coming into contact with the intense cold energy. Lucy, as it's coming towards you, the radius of it kind of at its peak, you're able to kind of get your hands up a little bit and it's just raging. And you got those new bracers on too. As the cold is starting to come through your archer's bracers and almost crippling it, you start to feel the cracks coming in, and you're just doing this, and all those memories, and all those feelings rage through you, and you just look over as the cone coming from the place of origin, the irises in your eyes turn bloodshot red. You start to get angry, and you put your hands out, and red flame comes pouring out of the palm of your hands, starts to catch onto the stream of the cone of cold, almost like lighting a match on a trail of gasoline. As you catch the brunt of it, it goes, and just fire starts to emit around you. Grass starts to turn black into ash, and you reverse the polarity and change the cone of cold from stinging, minus temperature energy to blazing hot. And this single line of fire, it goes along the side of the cone. It just hits the Oni right in the face. Snaps back as parts of wisps of hair actually catch on fire and turn to ash as like this big, huge balding spot starts to emit from the top of it.
Thinning.
Thinning. It's just thinning.
Thinning.
And as that happens, you start to see, even just for an instant, this giant blast happens, but you start to see some of the hair slowly grow back. You see some of the third-degree burns just hit the skin for a minute. And same thing with you, Archeon. Those giant gashes that you made slowly are starting to close up.
It is Venom.
Oh my God, it's Wolverine.
Use the body parts.
But good job there. Okay.
Woo.
Moving down the line, I believe we have Ebby.
Okay, so Ebby just looks at all the damage that's happened to people, and he looks at Orlan and is like, just let me down and you safely. And then he steps outside of Orlan, and then
Okay.
yeah. And so he starts thinking about the being told about the face, and remembering that we cured the curse from the last person, and was thinking that maybe they're connected in the same way as a curse from one of the body parts. And yells to the team. He's just like, if anyone's a body part, maybe we should stab it with it.
If it loses a body part, what?
No. The hag
I'm chopping
body
things
part.
off.
Oh.
The body parts are the hags that seem to remove curses.
Oh my God, hit her with a foot.
Give us
Hit her
the
with a
feet!
foot.
Quincy, give us the feet!
I never
I
say
know they're
this,
very
Quincy,
precious
but
to you.
Quincy, I never say this.
These are
But I want your
mine!
feet. No, I want
Let me just kill
I want
it.
your feet. I need your feet. I need
These
your
are
feet.
mine!
But
You see
it's a
Quincy just kind of
child.
putting the feet even farther down the bag.
Quincy's kind of like on the
search for
grass, kind of crystallized with the cold energy, like you just got, like you dodged the way.
I'm on the ground like, no!
Yeah, you're like, no, it's mine! And you're just like cutting it like more into your bag as you're slowly getting up.
But we could save it. We could save one.
Kill it! It tried to kill me.
Do we do the bag explosion where we put a bag inside
Not
the
yet.
bag? Not yet.
But that's a good idea, but not
When
yet.
you guys cross the streams of the bag of holding, I'm literally going to play that Linkin Park song and then put up credits.
Yes!
That's how Feywild ends.
Yeah, well, I was like, well, I can't kill it, but I really think it's a good idea to use one of the body parts in your bag.
And heal me!
Oh, hi. Wait, I have the head. I have the head. Touch. Go back. Go back.
Heal.
Go back. The power of this
It's
face
working.
compels you. The power of hag compels you.
This Oni is wrapped up. You just keep shoving a dead
Hey, go back.
head into
Go
its
back. Back. Go back.
I don't think it's working. Abby,
So,
do
Abby,
something.
what would you like to do?
So Abby's gonna quickly, if he can, do an Arcana check to see if he can tell what type of curse this person is under.
Sure. Do Arcana or Medicine?
Arcana. Oh, it fell out. Oh, thank God, it fell out. Wait. Damn it, no, that was a 19. Oh, that's still worse. 21.
21. So curses are a funny thing. They're a very hard thing to kind of suss out without doing any proper study, or unless you have remove curse spells or certain holy items that maybe be able to have the patient react, that kind of thing. You definitely saw a smidge of some other personality come out. You know there's some lingering effects of a curse somehow interconnected, but to be able to tell who was cursed, the demon or Will of the Feywild, it's kind of hard to figure out from where you are.
Okay. Abby shares that information with everyone. And I really think we should use the body part somehow, and then he doesn't want to disappoint anyone for not fighting this time, so he does a produce flame at it.
Okay. So produce flame,
And
throw
throws it.
fire at it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh gosh. $12 points of damage.
Do I have to roll or anything?
Oh wait. I have to do a hit DC.
Right, so roll to hit.
12.
Miss.
Okay. I was like, oh, I tried, and then just hums and cures. Does a bonus action to cure Quincy.
Sort of your conflict of conscience is kind of guiding your hand as you're got the produce flame in your hand and you're talking to your body I think something might be wrong with it. I don't think we should kill it. And
Yeah.
Quincy on the ground I'm gonna kill this thing. It's fucking trying to kill me. You're what? Yeah, kind of you just kind of chuck your little produce flame spell at it, but you don't want to hurt it, so it just the throw is just not as vigorous as usual, and it kind of just shortchanges it and just hits the ground as it kind of rolls off past your party members and just misses wide as you're still trying to figure out yourself how to solve this issue without killing the Oni.
Right.
But I think that'll be your turn unless you want to do
And bonus action healing Quincy. Because he
Okay,
has.
there you go.
So that is.
I was gonna yell at Abby if Abby took his whole turn to just miss purposefully and not heal us after a cone of cold.
I try.
Oh my god.
Where is this? Hold on a sec. For some reason, it's not giving me my whole page, so I'm gonna click the button to count it, but give me a sec. Where is it? There it is.
It's Abby.
I'm sorry. Okay, got it. I found it. You get healed for 7.
Cool, thank you, Abby.
You're welcome. Use the body part.
This is my feet.
I don't know. I'll take your feet. Use the other feet.
As if get you closer to the monster and fight. Let's go.
Fight it with the feet.
All right, so after that, as Abby, as you kind of squawk over to Quincy, the vibrations from your vocal cords start to make some of the lingering frostbite on the skin start to melt away. Some of the wounds start to close up to each other as you start to get a bit of a second wind there, Quincy. You'll be able to get up very slowly. from that attack on the ground. But after that, we are going to Lucifer.
Ooh. Okay. So real quick, Lucifer shouts out to everyone because his arrows are still in the creature, and he's loving this new spell side of himself. He goes, "Darkness, anyone?"
But then I can't see.
Oh no! Like I'm like having flashbacks
Die.
of being
Inside a
I mean,
T-Rex.
If you're
Technically,
asking,
you have
nothing.
the lantern, Archtron. At least you would be able to
You'd be
see,
able to
but I
see.
wouldn't.
You'd be able to see inside of the darkness.
I'm like PTSD. I'm like, don't make me go back in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, it's not my choice. It's not my choice.
Yeah,
You do
okay.
you.
Do what you feel like you need to do.
So
That
Lucifer,
sound is very
No, it's
Oh,
great.
no.
It's great.
Okay, it's great.
Lucifer's still being very new to spellcasting. He's like, "Darkness, anyone?" And everyone goes,
Dark.
No. And Archeon's like having PTSD. He goes, "Okay." And so he sprints. He sprints from here. He decides to get a little bit closer to the battle itself. He sprints like right about here. And he's gonna go ahead and throw both of his hand axes at the Oni.
Nice.
Okay. So move your character.
Darkness? No. Okay.
All right, make 2.
I like to be able to see.
Abby sighs happily after seeing that.
Appreciate the
We can do this again.
Lucifer's having all the fun, like exploring the new ways to fight. It's great. Okay, so it is 12 plus 6, so 18 to hit.
First one will hit.
Amazing. Rolling the second one to hit. 15 plus 6 is 11. No, 21 to hit.
Those will both hit. Roll damage.
So hand axe is 1d6 plus 5. 6 is my square. Yeah. Ooh. That is a nat 6. Proof. There it is. It's sitting on the side
Right
of my
there.
keyboard.
Right.
Oh man.
Check the new camera.
6 plus 5, so that's an 11 on the first one.
Okay.
And then on the second one, that is a 3 plus 5, so 8. So 19 altogether.
19 altogether. Okay.
And he's aiming for his torso, not trying to take his head off.
So, as you kind of running, you're like, "Darkness, anyone?" Everyone's like, "No!" Collective, you're like, "Okay, never." Take your hand axes, like, tried and true. And, like, still trying to decide whether you're going to let this thing live or let this thing die. You're not too sure where you stand on it quite yet. But you're trying to make Ebby happy. You're like, maybe this thing has a chance to come around. But the first one, you kind of aim it true. Second one, you kind of put a little too much heavy heft into it. The first one goes, second one, and just goes right to the side of the head and like splinters into the little Oni horn, cracking it off.
Lucy turns back to Ebby real quick and just like, "It'll probably heal."
If you put a body part in it, like some feet,
you don't know that.
we will figure it out. I'll get you
All the
more
yelling.
feet.
All the yelling is happens.
And
Not
as
this
you're
wrinkly.
battling this Oni, you just hear a cacophony of the voices of all the children being protected by the giant tree ant that's on that giant mound made of vine and rock and local vegetation. As the kids go, "Ooh, yeah, kick his ass, yeah!" And all just like cheering and going with you as you're battling this thing.
Lucifer turns back around. Here's the cheers, which is the only positive thing that he had in his childhood, where like the crowd cheers when he actually won. And he's just like, "Oh!" His blood boil is like getting back into battle mode. He's like, "Okay, I guess killing this thing is not a terrible option based on the children who know." Anyways, onwards.
A little boy kind of screaming above the barrage of voices just shouts out, "I love your suit, Redskin man!"
Thank you, strange random child. I love you.
So as the Oni
Cody.
screams in pain from a hand axe literally just shot into the side of its head, still up, being propped up by the vines. It's just like Sonny on the causeway in Godfather, just getting hit wave after wave, but still standing. It is a beast of a creature. But as it gets hit in the head, you see its whole body just slump forward. That was a huge hit. Those wounds are slowly closing, but it's losing lots of blood. You can see that the skin color starting to fade as it just looks like it's getting like it's on its last legs. You just see it wobbling back and forth. If the vines weren't holding it up, it probably would have toppled forward a while ago. Which brings us to Quincy.
All right, I'm gonna get up.
Quincy.
If I didn't save from that cone of cold, Quincy would have been down. So, not wanting to play around, gonna test out a new spell learned since last night and go ahead and blast it with Eldritch Blast.
Oh!
That's a natural 20 on the first roll.
Oh my god!
So that'll be 2d10 plus 2d8 because it's through the spoon. So I'll look at the Oni and shoot the first blast, and it'll be 10 plus 6, so 16 force damage. And the first shot will hit him. Yield! What does it look like? And the second one,
Quincy,
Ooh.
I will give you the option. Not only how do you want to do this, but
Do you
want
kill
to
it?
kill the Oni or knock it out?
I don't kill it. If I knew it was, if I heard my teammate say that it was Will or it looked kind of like whatever, I was gonna give it a chance after every shot to yield, and so I will shoot it and try to aim to knock it out.
Okay. So for
Okay.
those of you watching, looking on, as Quincy kind of gets up from the ground, the frozen grass around them crunching underneath your boots, you see Quincy's demeanor change, take on a specific type of energy that you've never seen Quincy do before. This strange spectral force whips around Quincy in a coloration that's very different from the sort of key energy that usually comes from Quincy's attacks. Being an artificer, most of his attacks come from science, come from, putting potions together, doing chemical reactions. A bit of arcane comes from pendants and trinkets that Quincy has, but for some reason, this energy is coming deep from within. I haven't even asked you, Quincy, because this is the first time you're using your Eldritch Blast. What coloration comes out from you when you cast it, and what does it look like when it leaves your body?
It would probably be imbued. What you would see is when Quincy casts Eldritch Blast for the first time, his tattoos start to glow, and it glows in a almost violet lavender kind of hue. And so the tattoos will kind of shine and brighten, and one in particular, a specific star on both of his arms actually, will kind of combine and kind of almost like connect. You'll almost see like this arc of energy shoot from one star to the other star of tattoos and shoot out of his hand as a blast of almost just like similar to a firebolt, but almost like a shooting star, cast out and kind of like quick as a daisy, just kind of shoot him and straight go to the head.
And the rest of you, as you see Quincy kind of get up, the side satchel that they're usually carrying, the bag of holding, throws that down. The mechanical bird the mechanical gauntlet that transforms sometimes to mechanical bird, usually used for firebolt. Nothing changes from there as you see Quincy kind of get up, and twigs and rock and grass sort of float up for just a minute as this almost kick up of wind whips around their feet as Quincy plants himself, and these wisps of lavender smoke come out of the corners of his eyes as he puts the hands together, and almost like very emotionally reactive, just As the Onis kind of lifting their head up, one after the other, with enough force that completely whips the Oni's attachment, the vine, clean off and smacks against the back end of the rock and the hilly accoutrement of all the vegetation, and the Oni just all straight down. You can see a bit of that yellowy, purpley blood sort of drip and fall on the back rocks as the back of the Oni's head just smacks it with great force and crumples down to the ground.
Quincy, where'd that come from?
I don't know.
That was amazing.
Terrifying.
It felt good.
Moss
Looked
starts
good.
running over to the Oni to check on it.
Yep, I'll run over too.
Abby gets in his thing and walks over with it.
So I'll kneel down by this, like by the Oni, and I think I'm gonna call over to Elkhorn, I believe it is, and I'll ask for some clarification. Will of the Wild, is he a shapeshifter? There was an image of a little boy that came on this Oni's face. It's gone now, but do you know anything of this? Can we help him?
And as you see the sort of parade of people on that hilltop, Treant standing tall, the group of children start to sort of come forward to the edge of that hilltop. As described last session, where you are currently is kind of a safe haven for all of the children that Scab the Nightshade, one of the three hags of the Hourglass Coven, had captured and used in her workshop. The getaway gang, Little Oak, and this sort of hideaway deep within the forest here was the safe haven for all these children. Elkhorn, this dwarven warrior, was helping to retrieve the children from Skabatha's headquarters. As you see the children kind of edge forward to the top of the hilltop, Elkhorn there, axe ready on the hilltop, defending, ready to defend in case that Oni came in closer, just looks up. I've never seen any. I've never seen Will transform before. This is news to me. And then start to hear heavy footfalls from that hilltop as well, as the tree that's situated in the middle of that starts to uproot itself. Comes down forward, jumps down from the hilltop as just heavy vibrations reach your bodies from the feet up. This tall, huge oak tree with two arm appendages, two leg appendages, old bark that's some of it's peeling off like an oak tree, with a massive head that has twigs and various vegetation coming out the top of its head. You can make out what looks like a face, if you almost like a 3D picture. If you stare at the face of the tree long enough, you start to see like eyes appear and a mouth and what looks like a nose. And as this treant comes down from the safety of the hilltop, reaches down to the Oni and starts to pick it up. Picking it up several feet high, like 20, 25 feet high. Deep booming voice starts to appear out from the treant's body.
His true name was Mulan. He used to work for Skabath the Nightshade as a kidnapper of the children. Till Babylon of Rites sought to up the rivalry and to win all, placed it first. His heart, changing him from a being of chaotic evil to good. His curse was that he would be a force for good and help the very same children he was sworn to capture. None of us had thought that the curse would be lifted. We Don't know what happened.
Quincy, show the feet. Show the feet. It's not gonna help. No, it will,
I'm
because
pretty
the,
sure-
the curse
This
was
is a good
lifted. They're
time.
wondering why. She's dead.
Show the feet.
Fine. Show the feet. Start taking
Show the
them,
feet.
and I'll hold up the feet of the hag. Hold up a foot.
We have a foot.
I got 2 feet, actually.
Put the other one away, hide it.
I used to have arms, but now I have braces. So
We have an
killed the
unsettling amount of
hag.
body parts.
This is awkward, isn't it?
Killed Tabitha Nightshade.
indeed,
Yes.
I was
We-
unconscious, but
We thought we were doing something good. We didn't think that there would be a counter curse that would possess Will. I'm sorry, we didn't know the repercussions. Her threat was larger than this, I guess. Moss seems very timid, not really knowing what's right or wrong. She's very confused right now.
She was a bad person, and we did the right thing.
Okay.
Griant's kind of stoic and tall, as its branches with various green leaves kind of rustle back and forth as a light summer breeze kind of lost. You hear the rustling of the many trees around you kind of shake. Griant is kind of still and stoic, as the children as well behind the tree and with Elkhorn are kind of a bit sullen, a bit sad at the discovery of this news. And Triet lets out a deep rumbling sigh and starts to put the body down on the ground.
Battle for the heart of the Feywild has been raging for some time. Hags. The roots of treachery grow deep. The people that they've affected, the lives they destroyed, seem to be never ending. Yes, they do need to be taken out. We want our home back, but fortunately, rip the root out of the weed and the ground gets affected. These hags have been cursing people, stealing lives for some time now. Price taking our home back will steeple by the day. We thank you for not ending your life. There may be a way we can change him back to the
He's
If he's
So-
cursed, who was the
Mm.
one that put the curse on him, right? Because Nightshade's dead.
so. Hang on. It was an Oni. History check on Onis, just so
Yes.
like I know Onis, but does this version of Quincy know Onis? 14 plus 6, 30, 20.
Yeah. So, as some of you one of you kind of knew about some of these before, but Quincy, yeah, you definitely know. In like nursery rhymes, Onis are kind of described as fearsome boogeymen, appear in the nightmares of children and adults alike. Yet they're very real, always hungry. They even find human babies especially delicious.
Mhm.
Okay.
Like
And
trolls, yeah.
they're very, unfortunately, very evil, maniacal entities.
But some of their abilities include shape-shifting.
Correct. They are able to polymorph into other humanoids, or into a large giant at times as well, able to trick and confuse some of their prey. But seemingly from what a Little Oak told you, that as you've been privy to this rivalry that the Hag sisters have between each other, always trying to one-up on things of theirs, their personal effects, trying to grow their various power within this land against each other. They've taken over this land for quite some time, and it seems like in the spirit of boredom, they've just developed this competition between each other, always one-upping each other. You, in fact, were tasked by Bavlorna Brightstraw to go to Skabatha's place of residence and steal a portrait that Skabatha had stolen from Bavlorna. So suffice it to say, to learn this news that Bavlorna, to get back at Skabatha, had placed a curse on one of her sort of generals, one of her lead collectors of children, doesn't seem to be too far-fetched. But from the story that you're hearing, it was the Oni that was cursed to be a force for good. And it seems to have changed back from that connection of Skabatha being destroyed.
So it was an odd change of circumstance. The Oni being cursed turned good, and actually it was presuming took on the role of this Will of the Feywilds, and then us removing Nightshade from the picture reverted him back to his Oni form.
Does that mean that he has to die?
I don't think anything has to die.
But
Agreed.
If he wakes up and continues to harm the children...
What do you think, Little Oak? Would he be a threat if conscious?
Onis are diabolical. They are the stuff of nightmares. But we have been working and living with not this will for quite some time. They are completely different people. How to change him back, I don't know.
What if we used our feet?
What if we killed Bavlorna?
I mean, that is also an option.
Although, look at us. We just killed a Hagen and there was negative repercussions.
This wasn't a necessarily negative repercussion. This was
That was minor setback.
This was a curse being lifted, and it just so happened that the curse was an opposite negative curse.
Does Lucifer just walks up and says, does this mean that without that curse, Will does not exist?
That's my fear.
We could give him a proper send-off. And I cast like prestidigitation, have like a fire.
If possible. If that's what we decide to do, I want to do it.
You hear a voice emanate from the crowd of children. I might know a way that we could save Will's life.
You're an old child.
That a child?
Yeah,
That is a grown-ass man.
He turns to the crowd and like looks up, looking for some tall beast of a creature. Who said that?
Is it a gnome?
So, as you all look up to the crowd of children that are sort of in a sort of looking on at the precipice of that hilltop. From the back moving forward, you start to see a few children start to part slowly. But you don't see anyone taller than them moving through. Whatever this thing is seems to be smaller than the children. As it starts to part more and more and more, the last couple kids at the front start to move. And at first, you're not even believing in your eyes at what you see. But from all the stuff that you've seen in the Feywild so far, it seems to be part of the course. And what do you see? By all the purposes, seems to be a sentient dandelion. That's about maybe 2 feet tall. And it has a fairly thick, bright green stalk body, 2 long leaves that kind of make arms, a bit of another leaf that kind of almost looks like sort of a battle skirt that protrudes from the lower half, and kind of edges of the leaves kind of dangle down in an angular formation, and then 2 thick leaves that kind of look like what would be legs. Very bright yellow dandelion head, and you see...
Where are the eyes?
There are no eyes.
Oh.
It's just a giant yellow dandelion head with a green stalk, 2 long leaves for arms, 2 long leaves for legs, and this sort of jagged, sort of 5th leaf that kind of looks like a battle skirt of sorts, and holding a small rapier that would look just an elongated toothpick that would go into like a Caesar or a cocktail. But it's metal with like a golden guard on the base, and a little bumblebee is buzzing above it, sort of in this formation, as it triumphantly and confidently steps forward amongst the crowd. I've seen some weird things in my day.
Me
Lucifer
too.
goes, same here.
You're adorable.
Who are you?
I prefer the term fearsome, but
You are fearsomely adorable.
I bow. You're so fearsome. You're so fearsome.
I'm like pouring out a flask. Like, oh, this is so tricky.
Oh my god.
My name, travelers, is Amador, and this is my companion, Paulina.
Happy bows to Paulina.
And you know of a way to bring back Will.
Correct.
How do you do that?
I've only seen it done a couple times. Changing someone's entire home back to who they were? That, my friends, could be done. As he's holding the rapier, kind of sort of flips it around his back and catches it with his other leaf hand. With that of a wish spell. And just points leafy arm in like a Shooter McGavin-like style over. You see me posing and very grandiose as he says it.
Lucifer, as he sees this, like standing up taller, and also just goes,
not witch
out of
feet.
just reaction.
Well, almost anything can be done with a wish spell. How do you get a wish spell here in the Feywild?
You wish for a wish spell?
Not that easy, Abby.
Oh.
Well, a certain stout dwarvish friend of mine mentioned that you're gonna need a guide over to y'all.
So we're gonna
We will.
follow a flower.
I would
And I
love
put my
a
paw over his
flower.
face.
We followed Clapperclaw here. Just go with it.
We were all in a balloon. That is different.
I understand he travels 5 feet an hour, but we were just gonna have to carry him.
You carry him.
I'll happily carry him. And Orlan will too.
Lucifer was like, just thinking about it, he's like, he can just sit right here in my head, put onto my horns, he'll be safe.
So you're gonna guide us to Yon.
Correct, my funny friend. Because I was headed there already for my own quest.
Oh.
You guys in action seem like you would be more than capable to hang out with the likes of us.
Lucifer was just stifling every single giggle.
Why are you laughing, sir?
I am not laughing.
Because you're a talking sentient flower, and where we're from, flowers do not do that.
Where you're from, flowers don't do that.
I'm sorry, Abby. I just stuffed the feet even deeper into waffles.
Moss is laughing into the grass because she's still bowing right now.
So your like shoulders are heaving into the grass.
And he's a dandelion, right?
Correct. Like
this was like, I'm trying not to laugh, because of your, I don't want to wind, air.
Stature.
Arcturine is probably a distant relative of you, Dandelion.
He actually chuckles at that.
Just like the glare over, like.
that joke was old when the Leonin used to exist around here, and it's still old today.
Wait, how old are you?
My friend, I am a sentient dandelion. I do not kiss and tell, and I do not reveal my age.
Well, excuse me.
Lucifer's just respecting this dandelion more and more with everything it says.
But if you're looking to get old freaky Will back to his old stage of being,
He's a child.
there's a particular person that resides in yon that might have the very spell we seek.
Who is that?
We have to go through her if we're going to the Palace of Desire.
Okay, so it's not the hag.
Oh,
Who is
it
it?
definitely is, my furry-tailed one. Endel Moongrave. I believe
Moongrave is going to be the
there's
one who.
spell in her possession.
Moongrave, you just expect Moongrave to give us wish spells?
Oh, I don't believe that she's going to give anything, my crazy lavender-fueled buddy.
Okay, I'm listening.
We are going to take it from her.
Lucifer pulls his rapier and his hand axe. Yes, we are.
Abby does it with his stick.
Where are we pointing to? What is this?
I look. What's the name of the dandelion again?
Amador.
Amador. I'll look at the Amador. Okay. How are you with balloons?
And wind,
Somebody
specifically.
holds me
Wind.
in their hands so I don't float away. Pretty okay.
All right, we can make
Hold on to
good
my
time
horns.
then.
Are you
We have.
to fly over yon?
We
I
can.
thought we discussed that we weren't going to do that because it was too visible.
I agree. And Abby holds onto like a vine from Orlon.
What if? I feel like we should definitely use it though. Maybe we don't use it, but what if we? Elkhorn,
Oh, yes.
favor. Not you personally, but would you know of someone who could run a balloon and basically just take our weather balloon and fly into yon, kind of circle around a couple spells, and then come back? Make
Scouting?
it look like we are something's coming in the form of a weather balloon, a hag's weather balloon. Get them distracted by that happening. That way, us and our guide can maybe go in more clandestine.
Oh, I see
Wait,
the
they
old cloak and
take it.
dagger routine.
A little bit. If we're not going to use our balloon, we might as well have it used for something.
Right.
And
Make a
if it says,
persuasion check.
okay.
Can I intimidate? No.
I would like to use my advantage from chat. Thank you, chat, for the level 5 print as well.
Yes, thank you, everyone.
All right.
By the way,
persuade-
thank you guys so much for interacting with the stream and everything.
Yeah.
We've got
Absolutely
cool
schmootly.
things. Thank you guys so much for the support.
We love you guys.
17.
17. As Elkhorn, kind of see him kind of plant his stubby little dwarf legs over the edge of the hilltop. Plants the axe kind of into the grassy mound. Well, the old cloak and dagger routine could help. Only thing is the lightning up in the sky could hit the balloon and then you're out of any transportation if we go down.
Well, we're not going to really have the balloon anyway if we can't take it to Yon in the first place.
Lightning in the sky?
Yes?
How much?
Well, over in Yon, you're looking at all the hilltops and all of the cliff faces. They have these beacons that direct down from the mountainside that collect lightning power to fuel Endlin Moongrave's old crazy contraptions that's connected to the Mother Horn. It happens quite a bit. I don't know if it's her magic or something else, but the lightning strikes fairly often.
Only in that one spot?
Oh, not one spot, my friend. Several. They're situated at many points along the side up into the Mother Horn.
Is it environmental? I'm asking in a way of, is it like a storm?
It is indeed a storm, a very, very dark storm, but whether it's nature-based or the hag herself is up to it, we've never known. We try to not go to Motherhorn too much.
Adamor here seems to have a death wish. He's always going up there and trying to help out the less fortunate. How he's survived all this time, I really have no idea. That's because I'm not afraid of anything.
I feel as though we will have use for our weather balloon, but not this adventure. We still need it to get back to Bavlorna, because even if we decide to settle things with Moongrave, we still need transportation back to Bavlorna. This adventure...
That's if we get back.
When we get back.
When we get back. I've never been so motivated by something so small in my life.
When?
So we don't use the balloon, all right.
Abby looks to Quincy and says, if a lightning strikes that, you won't have a balloon anyways, anywhere.
And I don't
Would
want to
there
risk anyone else.
Quincy's mind is kind of very much thinking of like, why does lightning negatively react a thunderstorm balloon?
Abby then, because you
'Cause
told him
it-
he knows everything,
pulls.
explains that to Quincy.
Sorry, yeah, it pulls the lightning from the sky. So if it pulls the lightning from the sky, it could pull the lightning from the balloon. Then we can just go.
Yeah, because I remember
But
Abby.
lightning is made from clouds friction moving against each other and creating a static electricity that needs to discharge someplace. So if the storm cloud, our storm cloud, moves across that storm cloud, creating friction and lightning, the lightning needs to go somewhere. If it was stored in a place in the balloon, it could technically charge the balloon, theoretically.
And then we go shooting off in a random direction. Great.
Or we make it super controlled and we have a lightning gun.
Do we have a lightning gun, Artificer?
Lucifer just pats Archeon on the shoulder saying, I also...
Is that a challenge?
Abby just kind of like...
It is.
puts
I
his
do
hands
not
aside.
want to risk this party or anyone else here.
I don't know.
Covert seems to be the best way to handle this hag. This is the most determined you've seen Moss as she stands up to you.
Abby's like, I don't know about gun, but you have a bird.
I don't want to sacrifice you either.
Since I personally don't know the details, but you said Abby knows everything about that balloon. Can you just share that information with us on why lightning affects the balloon it does?
So there was like the weather balloon in this region seems to be a main source of travel for like larger groups of people who can afford to build them. Like you saw them building them in the Bullywog Keep, but they're more like patchwork balloons made from like scraps of leather and things like that. A little shoddy. This one seemed to be a new concept, a new, way higher quality grade type of transportation. And instead of using like the swamp gas from the swamp lands as a means of raising the balloon, seemed like the dark elders that you had run into were experimenting with using lightning as a form of transportation. That's how you're able to get from location to location so quickly under a good amount of time. Using the controls and everything, you had a Bullywog pilot that was more used to the controls and everything. That was piloting it for you. And then Quincy took some time learning with the Bullywog pilot to learn like what levers go where and everything. Gave a little brief rundown of the mechanics of it. But basically they were able to, inside of the balloon, construct basically their own set of arcane weather controlling stimulus to be able to cause a lightning storm in the balloon that would send energy down into the pistons to blast off the exhaust ports that would drive it forward. So essentially inside of the itself is like a mini storm that shoots off lightning ever so often to pilot the thing moving forward at a great speed. The lightning that's coming down from Inland Moongrave's part of the Feywild and Yon, what's being described to you is that they're not sure if it's just a stormy place or if it's arcane in nature, if it's a unnatural sort of thunderstorm. So with that being said, you're not sure if the thunderstorm would aid or destruct your balloon because they don't know if it's or if it's manipulated. You do know that beacons connecting to these large sort of metal stalks that have been described to you are sort of conduits for the lightning strike that seem to be powering something in Motherhorn, which is Pendulum Moongrave's sort of paddock location up beyond on the cliff face. So there could be strategy to try and avoid those sort of fey beacons, but it could be dangerous.
And that's why.
So it's a matter of how much risk are we willing to take?
I would go up in the balloon and work for it, but what if we destroyed those conduits? We take out the power, turn off the lights, so to speak.
We'd still have to get there with the balloon, so we'd have to go from a certain distance, then go on foot.
Do we need the balloon to even get over to Jan?
My friend, we can go on foot.
How long
Or
is that venture?
shambling.
Yon is a realm of rocky peaks, thunderclouds, and howling winds. There's narrow ledges and footpaths that curl around the mountains. Foot travel possible, but such routes are arduous. Dead ends are common. But I've traveled to and fro from these dangerous rocky lands more times than I can count, and I do have a fairly steady route that we could take. Might take a little more than a couple days, but we would make it.
Abby looks up to Arlon, then over to Amador and says, Can they come with us? Or is it too dangerous?
Who's coming with you?
He taps to Orlon. You said there's thin
Shambling
edges.
mound.
Oh, that.
What do you say?
He's your brethren.
Technically.
Well, my friend, the thing is, when dealing with trying to be stealthy, sometimes you don't want a giant walking vine monster to kind of draw eyes from all places.
I am a 7'9" Leonin. I think you are far from sticking out.
That's true, but that is a 12-foot mass of sentient vines.
Said you were stealthy, Arcturion.
Not with my armor. I have disadvantage on stealth.
Oh no!
Listen, I chose better armor for. Listen, it's fine.
So
There were reasons.
we walk.
We walk.
We walk.
The terrain sounds like home, so it'll be fun.
Yeah.
Can
The worst that could happen?
I get close to death, which isn't so bad.
Yeah.
As long as you guys don't get close to death. Me, I'm fine. Risk it for the biscuit. You all, absolutely not.
If they wish, is Orlon allowed to stay here till we get back?
Yes, of course. I'm sure that they would be able to house all along for as long as you like.
As the giant treant kind of gets into the conversation, leans down to you, is like,
The Getaway Gang would be more than happy to accept your friend.
Abby smiles and just like taps on Orlon and asks me, "Are you okay with this?"
looks at you, looks over to all the children and Little Oak and everything.
They're your friends too.
Make a persuasion check, Abby.
Can Lucifer give the help action?
21. 2.
Oh, never mind.
That's fine. I was prepared, but that's great.
21. So yes. So the or 22. Sorry. Yes. So you look up to your giant shambling mound friend, and he goes. Starts to nod at your approval. And you hear that familiar voice wisp in your head from the sentient twig that you've been carrying around that helped you to animate the shambling mound in the first place. Don't you worry, my feathered friend. I'm sure there are plenty more friends than we could find on this journey.
Abby, keep the stick with you.
Mhm.
Keep that with you. Keep Arbor on here. Or sorry, too many arbors.
Sorry, Orlon is the mound.
Orlon?
Yeah,
Keep
Orlon.
Orlon here, and take this little with you.
Stick.
Lucifer says, Elkhorn,
Oh, yes.
can you all keep watch over this Oni will while we're gone?
Yes.
And you see Alcorn kind of stand up from the edge
There's
of the
kind of a
hilltop,
tree on as well, like, both of them kind of.
the double axe in hand.
I've been defending these children for as long as I can, and I will continue to do so, my friend. Don't you worry.
Lucifer looks over to Ebby and says, could you have your Viney friend also assist in keeping this thing locked down while we're gone?
Abby looks to Orlon and just nods to see if he heard what Lucifer said. So do you agree with this?
Only if he wants to.
To
Be helping.
To Orlon.
For Orlon to help defend the Oni.
Yeah, to help
to be like
de-
tied
help
down,
defend,
locked
things
down.
like that.
Lucifer, make a persuasion check.
Sure. Okay. I can do this. Come on, page, react. Okay, so that is a 8 plus 4, so a 12.
12.
Please.
So you see the giant mass of the shambling mound react to being okay staying here. You look over to the shambling mound to aid in keeping the Oni safe. Shambling mound kind of looks at Ebby, looks over to Lucifer. Just to walk over to where the Treant is, holding the Oni in their hands as it sort of reacts to the shambling mound and puts it down. Kind of expands its vine body, this huddled mass of vegetation, twigs, rocks, vines, as it kind of expands its body a couple sizes, reaches over as massive vines like finger appendages sort of extend and wrap around the Oni's legs and arms as the chest cavity expands once again to make a little bit of a sort of a basket weave cradle and kind of envelops the Oni inside of it as you see the vines kind of sparse apart into like what looks like bars, kind of like a holding cell. And then what looks like a vine comes from the shambling mound.
Lucifer, for the first time, looks at this shambling mound with just pure eyes because he was questioning it before, and he just says, "Thank you, my friend."
I want to do a perception check around us since we've been here for a while to see if I notice anything undifferent or unusual or anything reacting to the fact that the Oni is dead or that the Oni is like out of commission kind of situation. 15 plus 5, dirty 20.
Yeah, so you're taking in the scene. The children definitely look a bit sullen and sad to see their sort of Peter Pan-esque leader seem to have fallen. Little Oak, the tree ant, also a bit sullen. But you don't notice anyone acting anything peculiar or different or strange in any amount.
Okay. Cool.
If we're planning to head out, I'd like to gather the children and talk to them first.
Okay.
So, Moss from her like bowed state to the dandelion gets up and like coughs out some grass, and because there were two groups of children. There was one above on the rocks, and then like some behind us, right? Or was it just always one group?
Like what you've gathered, there was like a huddled mass of most of these children in that sort of hilltop region. And as you're kind of closer now to the hilltop and not focused on the Oni, as your eyesight kind of looks over to the hilltop and looks up into the trees, you start to see sort of just a bit past all of the vegetation and the leaves, through the denseness, you see like remnants of what looks like tree houses that are built within the tops of the trees.
Oh, wow.
So this looks like all the children that are kind of amassed in here. You sort of see some that are hidden up into the tree houses further back, but it seems like when Will changed, any children that were nearby just ran up to this hilltop, and the Little Oak was kind of defending it.
Okay. Well, of the children that came with us from when we took down Granny Nightshade, I especially want to like talk to the little girl that has been.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, that group was Elkhorn kind of took that group aside and was like defending it with an axe, sort of on the same level as you guys. So yeah, that group's still like nearby you.
Okay, so I'm gonna get up from my kneel position, and I'm going to just like huddle over them, and I'm gonna like kneel down to them, and I'm gonna say, we're gonna be right back. I promise you that we will get you home. And I take out like the ball of yarn that I have, and I start like unwrapping it, and I tell them, this is my lucky ball of yarn. I call it Fluffy. And I take it out, and I like with my claws, I'm taking like little pieces of it, and I start like giving them like little bracelets. It will protect you, but it'll also help you get home. We all deserve to go home. Then she winds it back up and puts on her hip and gives them like little pats on the head before heading out.
You know, kind of react, and you kind of spend some time sort of weaving these little bracelets for them. As they seem a little confused, a little, you know, not really sure what they're going to do next, sort of vibes, like they're uprooted from what they kind of called their home, even though it was a shitty place to live. Scab the Nightshade, now being transported here, you can see like the confusion in their eyes as they're not really sure where to go next, but you kind of kneeling down and approaching them, giving them this this speech. Make a persuasion check at advantage.
I'm glad it was an advantage. It was a 19 and a 1. So persuasion, that's 23 total.
23, okay. So as you go down, you say this to the kids, and they react fairly favorably to it. They're a little shaken up, but you give them this reassurance, this confidence, and you're developing this trust with them. And they see a bunch of the like-minded kids here being like, you'll be safe here. Start to weave the bracelets one at a time. There's about like 8 of them or so. They're able to kind of pin off the ball of yarn and give them little bracelets as reassurance.
You're going to be okay. Everyone, are you ready?
And that one, was it a little girl, I think? It was a drow girl?
Yep.
Yeah, the one that you had kind of spooked earlier and kind of made them a little bit upset. So she's kind of the last one that you give a little bracelet for, and she's still, you can tell there's a little bit of shyness to her as she comes up. And as you kind of finish tying the bracelet, she's like, thank you for saving me.
You're welcome. I'm excited for you to see your parents again. For all of you to find your forever home.
I hope they're still around.
They will be. They'll be waiting for you. Just like my family's waiting for me.
Some of us have been here for a very long time.
We all see our family again eventually.
And sometimes the people around us become our chosen family. So you'll always have a family around you. You see Moss's expression kind of break a bit. But she tries her best to be positive for her.
Lucifer, who doesn't have much family tie besides his father, who is not good to him, and sees this group of people around him as his chosen family, he just stays in the back and also just, the very tiny corner of his eye, just wipes a single tear.
Are you crying?
No, it was that cold blast.
That
tomorrow
cold
morning.
damage, it's just now thawing.
I'm not crying, my face is thawing.
And with that, as you usher the kids off to join the rest of the group, the rest of you kind of start to see the sun sort of setting behind you as the rest of you regroup yourselves and begin to plan the next leg of your Feywild journey. It's here, everyone, that we're going to take our first break. So, huzzah! Again, apologies in chat, everyone. I was told that my audio from the mic was kind of whipping in and out there for a bit. I am in a random hotel in Squamish, BC, trying my best. So thank you for holding on while we figure out those audio issues. But all that being said, we're going to take a quick 10-minute break here just to stretch the legs, refill the drinks for all of you watching, get bathroom breaks, refill on snacks, and we will be right back for the second part of our adventure, so don't go anywhere. And we are back. Thank you, everyone, for sticking around while we stretch the legs, refill the drinks, all that fun stuff. But it's time to get into the second half of tonight's session of Wild Beyond the Witchlight. So, where we last left off, sun setting in this very large grouping of dense huddled trees in the Feywild forest, having had to make some hard decisions over what you're going to do with the now uncursed Oni, deciding to give it into the care of Little Oak and the Getaway Gang for safekeeping, having its knocked out body nestled into the shambling mound friend of Ebby. As the rest of you now are up atop that raised hilltop, gathered around a fireplace as you've chosen to kind of spend the night here before heading out to yawn in the morning. And as you kind of go deeper into the forest tree line, you can see just a vastness of these very well-made tree houses that are built very high up into the brush, with many sort of plank wood-like pathways that kind of go to and fro from the various trees. And you see little kids kind of walking down, some holding little balls of light, like some arcane sort of dancing light apparatuses. And you see a ton of them kind of moving to and fro from the tree line, almost like an animal that camouflages itself at the night. From far down below, it would look like maybe a bunch of firelights sort of dancing amongst the trees, but it's actually these children holding these globules of light to light their way to and fro from various tree houses. But as the five of you are huddled around this fireplace, what would you all like to do?
I
can
want
take.
to.
Oops, sorry. Go ahead.
I want to forage for food. If we're gonna take a bit of a short rest, long rest, I want to forage for food, mushrooms, mushies, herbs, edible grasses.
I am going to have my lantern with that light just kind of chilling with us for an extra little bit of light, just in case.
Okay.
Lucifer, with his dark side, would like to go off to find some mead or something of sorts, since there must be something like that around here somewhere.
Okay.
Abby can't
Been too long.
Abby can't get Orlon off his mind, so he actually leaves the fire. And he just walks to the edge so he can just keep an eye on him.
Okay. Aiden and Jackie, was there anything that you wanted to do? Or conversations you wanted to have?
I can't think of anything right now.
I will strike up just a light conversation of just
Fur, right?
hairballs, am I
How about
right?
that?
No.
Oh my gosh, those suck.
No, but
We leave the two furry creatures behind by
as-
themselves.
as everybody kind of just like dissipates and whatever, and I'm just Archeon is thinking about trying to wrap his head around how these curses work and if it's gonna be the same, if it's gonna work out the same way for his father and the tribe, because we killed one hag and there was pros, but there was also cons. So I'm just kind of like,
I just don't know what to make of this.
What's
Whether
on
the
your
curse will
mind?
be. I don't know what to make of the curse.
On the Oni?
No, my
Or-
father.
The king.
Yeah. I had struck a deal granting my father to be as fit as and spry as he once was in his earlier days. But things went horribly wrong. I don't know. These past few events that we've had where killing the hag was a good thing, killing the hag was a bad thing. My only hope is that I return. My father is, should I say, back to normal? But I do not know.
I'm sorry that the hag took your very kind wish and twisted it into something that caused you a lot of pain. And I can only hope that at best things return back to normal when you get there. I also don't know what to make of this. And I'm sorry I can't offer any more comfort for you.
No, it's
and then I kind of just, without trying to show it, like kind of like Lucy, I'm just like, all right, man, just it's fine. I don't need to show emotion. Just like it's quite all right. I think everything will be just fine. Just eager to get home for once.
I know the feeling. That's
You
all I
got fa-
want to do.
You got family back home?
You see Moss's expression kind of go blank, as though she is trying best to remember how long it's been since she's been home. That little girl, when she said she had hoped that her family was still waiting for her, that struck a chord in me because I don't know the state of my home either. But I have this deep desire to get back. I feel like something is missing, something is wrong, and maybe I'm just worried. But
Well, you have every right to be worried. Family is something to be concerned about at all times, especially in our state.
and she just kind of thinks about this, and then she kind of like tosses the ball in her hand. She says,
Archeon's just like watching the ball, like
and she kind of just like rolls in front of you and then continues. Do you remember your dreams when you wake up? Do you dream at all?
I dream. I dream of great battles, great victories, peace among my people, great halls and feast. But I also dream about what is to come, what may come. For those are nightmares. I try to forget those.
I don't remember anything. I wake
Nothing.
up. No. The monks used to tell me that someone that closes their eyes and then wakes up to the sun rising means that you've had a hard day of training. Your mind is too exhausted to think. But I wake up and I have a headache, searing headache, and I don't know, maybe I sleepwalk or something. I find the nearest litter box because when I come back, when I wake up, I have this like gray stuff on my hand. I don't know. I don't know. And she's trying to joke, but there's something in her eyes that is so scared that she can't remember images of her home, her dreams. She just looks like a lost little kitten in this moment. It's been a while.
You remind me of my sister.
Are you my brother? she looks at you.
No.
What was your sister like?
Incredibly naive. No.
Yeah, that describes me.
Wondrous, curious, cared for others without second thought. But she often dreamed a lot too, more than me. She remembered more than me too.
I've shared that.
Don't we all?
So as we kind of cut from that conversation, going over to the other three members of the Monarch 4, we'll go over to Quincy as you've kind of made your way down the hillside over to the local, the varying plants and trees and other things, try to sort of harvest berries, any kind of vegetables, root vegetables, things that you can find. They do seem to have like little garden patches here and there, sort of deeper into the land where the treetops are above. Was there anything specific you were looking for, or just kind of?
Is there stuff to make a stew? So meats, onions, herbs, mushrooms.
Yeah, so you kind of go up to one of the
small game.
You kind of go up to the children, kind of ask to raid one of the local pantries to make food for everybody, and they've got like a good stock. There's there's a lot of kids to feed, so there's like a lot of good food stored for them: meats, root vegetables, healthy.
Oh, so they have a kitchen.
Yeah, a little bit of a makeshift.
Okay. So I ask him if I can use the kitchen, and
Sure. What's your passive perception?
My passive, 15.
15. So, as you start to make one of your famous Quincy stews for your friends and for anyone else who'd like them, kind of using whatever tools and whatever pans are around, you start to gather ingredients, start chopping up various things to get the broth going, bubbling over a fire that you just make with like your arcane abilities. You notice a bit of a little thing of spice just fall down from the cabinets above.
Did any of it get in my soup?
Make a sleight of hand check.
16 plus 0, no dex, so 16.
So before the little shaker of spice could fall into the stew, you just catch it.
And it's
just above the pot. You're like, oh. And you kind of you're starting to look up to where the source of what this was. And as you kind of look up in the top shelves of the makeshift pantry, that you're kind of like in a trunk of a tree, by the way. So like the walls around you are all various oak, like amber colorations, like some of the bark still like peeling off in some areas. A lot of the cabinets seem like they were carved out of the inside of the trunk of the tree itself. So there's some that are like pantries that are sort of put out like big blocks that are kind of been carved out frontward. You kind of look off what looks like, just from the corner of your eye, it looks like a tentacle,
okay,
maybe, or a tail. It's hard to tell. Something tail-like just sort of leaves the view of the corner of the cabinet.
Is one of the children there, like in the room with me in the kitchen, kind of like meandering, doing children stuff?
Just yourself.
Just me? I don't sense danger. Like I don't sense like anything threatening.
You just saw a piece of spice almost fall into your soup. You looked up, something tail-like to it just like disappeared behind the precipice of the top of the cabinet.
I'm gonna be like, okay. Strange. I'm just gonna go about minding my own business here. There's enough for everybody. And it's actually quite hot too. And so I'm gonna take and kind of like ladle out a small saucer bit of the soup and stew with meat and some of the vegetables in it, and just kind of put it like down at my feet, but like a distance away. And then go back to working on the stew, completely like ignoring it.
Okay. So you kind of do your best to ignore it. And you wait a little bit, kind of like you have your periphery kind of on watch, but you're just trying to pretend like you're like whatever, there could be something up there, but you're just kind of like doing your own thing, hoping to coax it out. Make a persuasion check.
Natural 20.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Your ratio of beating DCs, I think, is just like on
those dice prime.
Oh.
Oh. So
Proof. It's in the pudding.
You kind of just looking down, like still like stirring your pot, putting more ingredients in, and you're kind of trying to like not look directly, but your periphery, you're kind of like sort of looking up, and you can make that single tail tentacle-like thing kind of erecting from the precipice of the corner of the pantry. And you're not looking directly at it, so I won't say that you can sort of see in detail what it is, but you just out the corner of your eye see some tail-like thing kind of prep up, and then another one prep up. And then you start to see two little long ears sort of start to pop up from the corner edge of this pantry. And then a little head starts to pop up. And again, you're not directly looking at it, but it's just the corner of your eye. You start to see this image of some sort of animal kind of peeking its head out with these two tail-like things wisping above it. Do you want to look?
I kind of just like not looking at it, but still stirring the stew and adding some spice in it, and be like, if only someone was here to help me figure out if this was good enough. I mean, free samples are always approved, and the cook's help always gets free first dibs.
Yeah.
Oh, hell, I did not see you there. Hello, little one.
And the little, as you kind of look up, the head kind of reveals itself, the two tails kind of wisping back and forth, and you see a cat-like creature that probably isn't any more than like 6 months old poke its head up. These elongated ears that are a bit more pointy and long than a normal cat's ears are above on its head, and it has like this dark gray clouded top, black nose, and a lighter gray coloration that kind of starts from the top of its nose around its mouth and under its belly. The eyes that protrude are fairly big and wide, and they're of like a really bright green coloration. There's no pupils or anything, just big, wide, single colored, bright green eyes that kind of reflect from the light and the embers that are cooking underneath your cauldron. You just sort of hear these purring and these meowing sounds, and then it starts to move from hiding, and it starts to perch and it sort of walks along the edge of the cabinet, and you see these two tails now wisping and moving back and forth. They look like tentacles, but tails as well. They're very long, but at the ends of them, there's not a nubbin for a tail. It's like this pod-like open feature that has like what look like little spikes or appendages coming out of them. And the cat doesn't have just 2 pairs of legs, but 3. Has 2 in the front, 2 in the middle, and 2 in the back. I'll have you make a nature check to see if you know what kind of animal this is.
Does it have wings?
Ooh. No, that's a 7.
7. So you're not too familiar with what type of animal this is, but as these 2 appendages, these 2 tentacle-like things kind of move about its body, you do see a tail out the end of it. So these 2 tentacle-like things are furred inlined, wisping and moving at the back of it, but there's also a tail. So it's not whatever these things are don't appear to be tails either. And this little kitten sort of perched on the side, and then it kind of jumps down and
You're an interesting little creature, aren't you? We have very similar creatures like you where I'm from, but I've not seen, at least I'm not familiar with what you are. Are you a Feywild original?
No.
I will take that as a maybe. So I'll go pick up the saucer that I put on the floor and put it in front of the little kitten. And what do you think? Too spicy? I mean,
so as you go down to put some thing in a saucer, some liquid for it to lick, so you look up, that one cat that was sort of sitting and looking at you inquisitively, the imagery is a bit thinner. As you see the exact other copy of this cat over the cauldron.
I want to take the one that looks thinner, the vision of the cat that looks thinner, and kind of like gently go to touch it.
The thinner looking veiled one?
Yeah.
You just see this cat like licking inside of your cauldron, hands on a hot pot, doesn't seem to bother it too much. Licking down into the broth of your stew, and you're seeing copies of the same kitten, but one seems to be a bit translucent than the other one. And you're just like, what the hell? And you go to pet the translucent one, and just like an image of it just falls into a cloud.
Fascinating. No. Okay. And I look to the one that's in the pot. Okay, what do you think? A bit spicy? It does have the spice that you dropped into it, so you have to like it now. Yes, that's what I thought. Okay, understandable. All right, let's leave some for the others. How about you have your own over here, and I'll take the bowl and put it over here just for the little kitten, and there you go. You can always have seconds. And so I'll go back to the stew and cast Purify Food and Drink in it. So I'll take like a little bit of a potion bottle and kind of just kind of dab it in there and purify the food and drink as I'm cooking and be like, yep, all right.
All right. So as you're kind of finishing the rest of your dish with this strange tentacle-like kitten that seems to be able to duplicate itself, sits near you, we will go over to Ebby. So Ebby, you are making your way walking over to your shambling mound friend. What would you like to do?
So Ebby's still up top, looking down, because I'm assuming, if I'm understanding the map correctly, the mound is holding the Oni down below, so everyone's safe up top, right?
Yeah. So if we kind of move, like everyone's kind of up here. We'll get to Lucy in a second. Quincy is more, let's say the rock up here is like this, the beginning of like the tree line and the tree houses and stuff.
Okay.
So you would be kind of up over here, and your shambling mound is kind of nestled over by these two trees here.
Okay. So Abby walks just up to the edge, and he's looking over at the shambling mound at Orlon, and then he looks back to his friends. He wants to go back to his friends, but he's just so drawn to the fact that whatever happened with Orlon worked. And he is afraid of being separated from it, thinking that something will happen to Orlon, or perhaps even the fear that maybe Orlon will be mistreated and turned back into something aggressive. And so he sits just on the edge of the cliff area and just looks down, and then he pulls out the stick. And it's just like, why is it? I was like, why can only I hear you?
Because, friend, you are the only one smart enough and strong enough to feel the connection binding within this rotten stick.
Oh.
You have a strong connection to nature. How else would you be able to be talking to me right now?
Well, some people would just assume I'm crazy, but that's okay. It's just, I don't know who either of you are, but I'm okay with that. And I'm not sure why you won't remember who you were. Why do you want a body?
Have you ever been a stick, my friend?
Abby actually has to think. In all aspects of physical, no.
Well, I'll tell you, my old feathered friend, it's not very appetizing. You can't go anywhere. You can't do anything. All that I can do is somehow obtain the power I had before and my connection to nature, which must have brought me to you. Scabatha had an insane connection to her surroundings, as you seem to have found out.
In an unpleasant way.
Incredibly unpleasant.
Eddie jumps off from the ledge and flies over to Orlon. And lands just about right here beside. And smiles as he walks up to Orlon and asks how Orlon's doing.
Orlon's just kind of like nuzzled up against the bulk of the tree, kind of like a big grizzly bear, like scratching its vines and twigs as you kind of like walk up to it. The Oni kind of still encased in its body cavity. Go up to Orlon.
I'm okay.
really happy to hear that. Thank you again for helping people out. And I really hope that you'll make friends while we're gone and people you can trust.
When can Orlan go home?
I personally would say whenever you want to go home, you're welcome to go home. There's no reason for you to stick with me as much as you have been. I'm thankful. But if you want to go home at any point, that's your choice. I can only hope that you'll stick around to help them out just a little bit longer. But then please feel free to be as you wish.
Make a persuasion check.
Six.
Abby, help Orlan. Orlan, help Abby.
Abby,
Orlan, also miss home.
Abby walks up to Orlan and places both his hands on his side and be like, well, if I make it back, I'd love to make sure you get home.
Orlan will stay until Abby return.
Abby smiles and thanks Orlan. It's like, I'll do my best to make sure we get back soon.
Me too.
I'm going to go back to the others, though. Are you okay for the night out here?
Just looks down as the Oni is like still passed out in like a sort of cradled, huddled position.
For now.
Well, let us know if anything is needed. We're just up there. And Abby points to the cliff.
Orlan, go up. Keep Oni away.
Go up where?
And just looks up at the massive trunk of the tree that he's leaning on that goes up very, very high. All the trees around you are super, super tall, signifying that he wants to kind of climb up to the tops of the trees to kind of hold the Oni in place. So maybe if it breaks free, it won't directly like be in range of people.
Abby looks up and the back to Orlan and nods like, I think that's a wonderful idea. Thank you.
Be safe.
You as well. And Abby gives a light pat on the side and then starts walking his way back up to where everyone else is.
You see the very large combined vine arms of Orlan just kind of extend as they wrap up her branch and just pull its massive body weight up and start to climb up the trunk of the tree and crawl its way with the Oni inside, nestled back and forth.
Wonderful. Okay. So Abby just makes his way back here, but he hasn't flown up yet.
All right. And then we'll cut over to Lucy, who's trying to find some beer.
Yeah, some beer.
It's been a long day.
Some ale. It's been quite a number of days since Lucifer's had a good drink. So I suppose he's, knowing that Quincy's gone to find food, he assumes ale would be in the same general vicinity. So he's also kind of like just following where Quincy had gone.
Yeah. So make an investigation check.
Fantastic, I can do that. Yeah. Ooh, that was a good one. 19 plus 1 is 20. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. So you're going to where Quincy is, basically?
Yes, because he knows that his friend's got a good sense for food and drink.
Okay, so you kind of walk along the sort of Quincy went about like ahead of you for a little bit, and then you're just like, I'm gonna find out where he went, so I'm gonna try to find some goddamn beer. Go up against the wood planked walkways. Many of the fire lights and globules of light are kind of whisked in all manner in these treetops. And as you kind of cut over, you do notice Quincy in the window cutting up vegetables and making a stew. And you notice a particular small kitten-like creature nestled down next to him, licking something out of a saucer with these two tentacles sort of going back and forth. And you just kind of go into the entryway and you just see Quincy and see this beast. What do you want to do?
Fantastic. Lisa says, "Oh, hello, friend and new friend."
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay, friend. He's fine. Horns. He's like you. Different, special, odd, quirky. It's fine. Just keep eating. And I'll ladle another saucer spoonful of and add extra meat into the little bowl.
The two tentacles just like stand straight up with the ears as well.
Lucy, do you know what this is? I've never seen a cat like this. Extra legs.
Make a nature or history check.
Oh, let's go with the rolls today. 18 plus 1 is a 19.
So you do know what this is, as your father has a pair of these as a pet.
Interesting.
That are chained to their throne, and that usually idles by his side as he walks down the many lava lakes of Avernus down below. This is a displacer beast kitten.
Displacer. What does displacer mean?
So it's a sort of an akin to its namesake. So displacer beasts are these panther-like cats that also have these tentacles off their body that have these almost like spiky pseudopods that can whip and entangle people, strike them, but they also have an ability to distort their imagery to make themselves look like they're in one space, but they're actually in another, and can sometimes teleport, and they're very hard to track and find.
Quincy, do you remember my mention earlier with the hourglass type thing? What do you know about familiars or gaining one or befriending one? Any knowledge by chance?
Are you hinting that this is dangerous? I look at the little cat eating the stew and kind of nomming on a piece of meat. Are you saying this is dangerous?
Quincy, yes and no.
So
yes, meaning it has the
keep it.
potential to be dangerous. Anything really, Quincy, if you think about it hard enough, has the potential to be dangerous. I mean, look at
True.
me, all suave and nice hair and horns and clothes, but I destroy things. It's really a pick and choose. Anyways, I'm sidetracking. So my father had 2 of these displacer beast kittens.
But not
Now-
this one.
But not this one, Quincy. And my father, much like everything in his life, he mistreated and did not take care of in the way that he should. They were more so his, I will not say familiars, but and less so pets, more servants, more forced into habit by only knowing pain and fear. I, as a child, always wished to treat them differently and take care of them. I was never allowed that. Thus, harsh demeanor, disconnection from emotions and such. We won't get into that. However, it seems you have befriended this little guy, potentially little guys.
And you want to as well?
Loose was a little stuttering. There's not much that gets to him, but these little creatures are everything. So Luce was like, do you maybe have another little snack that I could very cautiously offer up to them? And I don't have any
I'll-
specialty like Abby with animals, however.
I'll give a plate of just little bits of meat to Lucifer. But like, try this.
Quincy sees Lucifer do something that is very uncharacteristic of Lucifer as far as he is aware. And Lucifer gets down on his knees to make himself as small as possible near these kittens and just shuffles on his knees. Very childlike.
So you just see
with
these
his-
horns kind of like going.
with nothing but just like childlike awe in his eyes. And he just takes the plate and he goes, "Oh, hey little buddy." And he just very carefully lifts it up to the table level and just with his pointed fingers just slides the plate over and then just grabs his hat, puts his little finger, not little fingers, but fingers on the side of the table and just with his eyeballs just looks over and just watches the little kitty to see if it's going to take his little treat or something.
Make an animal handling check.
Ooh.
My rolls have been so good today. 18 plus 1 is 19.
All right. So you kind of edge the little plate of meat over with your little fingers, and you're just sitting there on the table as the displacer kitten like is lapping up its saucer. Like, kind of a little skittish at first, and you just kind of like be patient, sitting there. Takes a couple steps forward. You see its nose like sniffing as it scrunches back and forth. The tentacles kind of raise up, kind of go ahead of it, and the little pseudopod thing like scoops up the meat. Looking at you. Eats it vigorously.
Oh.
Lucifer's gonna take. Lucifer's seeing this vigorous eating as just adorable because who knows what Lucifer thinks is cute, and he just very carefully takes his hand and reaches it towards the kitty and just wants to scratch its like right along its back since its head is very busy eating meat. He just wants to try. It scratches back a little bit.
Do you think it belongs to anyone here?
I hope not.
I'll look around. Is there any other children or is someone else, Alcorn or someone here in the kitchen or in the vicinity? I think Kevin froze.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I saw that smile. I was like,
He
oh,
froze
he's
smiling.
He's really into this moment.
There
He's
we go.
back.
Okay,
There we
yeah,
go.
you're back. You're back.
Cool.
All right, just changed my internet there because it was being a little laggy.
No worries. I was asking, is there anyone in the kitchen that I asked Lucy? I was like, do you think he belongs to anyone? And Lucifer was like, I hope not. And so I want to see if there's like Elkhorn or a child or someone who knows the ownership or the origin of this displacer beast kitty.
Yeah, you guys, there's a couple kids kind of walking to and fro.
Because food's about done, and I'm gonna kind of mention that.
Yeah. Like you can see a couple kids like sort of walking past the window on the walkway if you want to try to get their attention.
I'm like, oh, excuse me. Dinner's almost ready. You might want to spread that word. Do you know whose cat this is in here?
And as
whose
you
cat
kind of
is
shout
not?
that out, you see a pair of kids, both female. One more a ginger, sort of red-haired female wood elf. Again, maybe like 8 years old. And one a little bit older, female orc. Like 11, 12, a little bit older, a little bit taller. Kind of stopped them both. And the wood elf with the red hair kind of goes, "Oh, I don't know. That was Will's pet. I think he found him in the forest one day and brought him back home to camp. He had him for a long time."
Oh, so this was Will's. Does anyone else feel very bonded to the creature?
Well, the kitten's just kind of been wandering around the grounds since earlier today when Will changed.
Okay.
Will's kind of its owner. It doesn't really have anyone else.
Oh, good to know. Okay. Okay, thank you. But let everyone, let your friends know, let everyone know that dinner's almost ready. And
Okay.
make sure you clean up, wash your hands. Okay.
You see the two of them kind of like run
I'll
off.
look at Lucifer and be like, "Do you want a pet?"
Lucifer is very, 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 very like distraught right now, or mixed up, because he's like, if we're saving Will, which obviously is the goal, and hopefully that happens, I would like to be able to return the kitty, or at least make sure the kitty, and if the kitty is safest here, with everyone who at least he's familiar with because of Will being around,
It's purring.
I can leave it here. But if it would be safer with us, I could train it, and
We could teach it tricks.
we could teach it tricks, and I could bring it back and give it to Will even better than it was before.
True. Let's ask the others.
Okay.
Or maybe just
I'll-
announce it. It's not really. Maybe
Can we just announce it?
we
I
just
promise to
announce
take care of it.
Okay.
I promise to
okay.
feed it and water it,
Okay. And walk it
Snuggle it.
and clean up after it.
take care of it, and make sure that its tentacles stay moisturized.
As soon as you say like water it, the displacer kitten goes. "Meow!"
I don't like water very much either, so that's fine.
That's
I like
We're on
cold
the same
either, so
point.
plenty of heat and meat, protein.
Alright.
And hunting, I can teach you to hunt.
All
Or
right.
hunt more.
Cool. All right, Lucifer. I guess you are now going to be the current main guardian of this little displacer beast. Oh, I should have asked the children what its name was. If it was Will's. What's
Yes,
your
quite.
name? I'll look at the kitten.
What's your name, little one?
Meow.
Noted. All right, we will ask someone who
Fantastic.
speaks common. Thank you. And I'll start
Someone,
serving up
ask
food.
someone who speaks common.
I'll ask someone who speaks common.
I speak common.
Do you know what the cat said?
That's so crazy. I speak abyssal, common, and infernal.
Ooh.
One
Oh.
of
I do
those.
not know what the cat said.
I thought
I'll just
Jamie was
start-
doing a dad joke there.
But
I know. I thought he was doing a dad joke as well.
Lucifer looks back to Quincy and he goes, "But I do know someone who does speak with animals."
Oh,
True. And I'll start serving up food, putting it on the table, getting kind of dishes and bowls out and spoons and setting things up. And kind of like if I'm outside a window of the hut or the tree, I'll go ahead and prestidigitation, kind of like small sparks of like light and fire, and maybe like do like a Monarch 4 kind of butterfly type of little firework display, kind of like get people's attention. and
That's
keep them
new.
inside.
Our turn. Let's go.
Roll a Arcana check really quick, or
Me?
performance check. Yeah.
Oh God.
4. 2 + 2.
Quincy's in trouble.
So you try to make like this monarch butterfly imagery with like Monarch 4 written in cursive, but you're tired and you've been cooking for a while now. You got the stew out. You kind of go over to a dining area that's deeper into the treehouse area. Sort of, the hill that you're on kind of goes inward and kind of deeps down into this large open grassy area. Where there's a few makeshift tables, like long tables for all the kids to kind of gather and have dinner and lunch and things like that. And as you kind of get them to kind of help you bring the cauldron down, you start to get the kids to gather plates and bowls and things, start to plate things out. You're like, all right, time to ring the dinner bell. And someone's like, you're just like about to like get yourself ready, kind of shoot like the flare in the sky. And the little orc girl goes, so what are we having for dinner? And just like pulls on your leg, and it goes up into the air like a little firework. And instead of exploding into like the imagery of a monarch butterfly and Monarch 4, it's just like the wings are there, but it's like a weird, like messed up face with like eyes and like a crooked mouth that just goes like, ah. And then like Monarch 4 is just like chicken scratch. You can make out the 4, but the Monarch part is just like gibberish, basically.
Oh. Well, that works too, I guess.
I'm sure they'll get the gist.
Yeah, well, sure. We're having
Sure.
a mushroom beef.
Oh,
Kind
okay.
of like and you ladle it over the rice here, and it's really, really good. It's really, really good.
Oh, I like mushrooms.
And I'll kind of just make sure everyone has their food and everything's good.
And you see the little orc girl like run down one of the dark swords. Like everything's kind of like becoming nighttime now. Things are illuminated by, I said, like those globules of light and fireflies and stuff. You just hear the little orc girl run down like, "Hey everyone, our new friend made things out of mushroom seed. Oh, wake up!" Hitting all the trunks of the trees with all like the oval doors and everything. And a lot of the kids are coming out and they seem to be very, very excited.
Okay. And I'll just kind of let them do their thing, let them get their food, and wait for the rest of my party to arrive.
Moss comes bounding in, breathless. Quincy. Food.
Yeah. I'll need to work on that one. It's not my best signal.
What was that?
That was a masterpiece. I will have you know. It was gorgeous.
Abstract art?
Just
Okay,
eat it.
Picasso.
Flair.
The job.
Sit
You
down
guys
and
made
eat the
it
food.
here.
Lucifer and I have an announcement. Where's Abby?
And
Lucifer, what's
slowly
that?
everyone's like gathering back towards the dining area here. You see Ebby kind of start to make their way, Arcturion, everyone. The kids all huddled over very, very excitedly. You see like a line starting to form around the cauldron as they're all like eagerly waiting with their bowls.
I'll start to serve them out. I'll go to them and be like, Lucifer has something to tell you. And I'll just start serving them out, all the kids.
Okay.
So Lucifer really quickly just turns to the kids and goes, "So, as far as I was aware, this was Will's kitty. Did Will have a name for it?"
Oh, yeah, he called it Star.
That's a cool name.
Does it
So I-
respond to it though? Potentially renaming it if it doesn't identify with that name?
I'm here, Star. And I'll kind of just tap my shoulder.
Ow! And just bounces over to Quincy's shoulder.
Nice.
I guess so. And I'll take a piece of meat and kind of just feed it to it.
The tentacles go down, scoop it up.
That's really cool.
So Quincy befriended it, and then I walked in, and you guys know how I was talking earlier about wanting maybe a familiar or a little companion of sorts. I think I'm gonna take care of it until we rescue Will, and then I will return it to Will, very much like a evolved Pokemon with new tricks and trades, and then it can help out around here once Will is back.
It looks
Pokemon?
awesome.
Yeah, it does.
Like they lean down and just like it's just making like as close as I could possibly get to it. I'm just like standing over it, like, come on, do something. And I'm like poking it lightly, not like okay. Let me rephrase that. I like, you know, when you go up to a cat and you're just like, "What's up, dude? How you doing?" And you like let him like sniff your hand. Like I could just kind of like lean down and be like,
Okay, I won't eat this one. Fine.
Make an animal handling check.
"Ah, no, it's gonna bite me. I have a +1. I got a 9.
So you go, like, it's sort of like munching on the meat that Quincy's got, and you're just like, sort of, it's hunched over on Quincy's shoulder, eating a piece of meat, and this giant barbarian Leonin just do from behind, like with his hungry eyes, and like, no, I'm better than this. I'm better than this.
I
No.
have control.
And then you just see one of the tentacles just whip back and smack on the shoulder. It's gonna try to attack.
No.
Lucifer stands up so quick, and he's like, wait.
It was a 6, so it actually misses. But you just see its tentacle kind of react to your aggressive presence nearby and trying to like smack you, and you just move out, and then time just like almost hits your face. Like a cat that kind of just swats at you for a minute.
Lucifer just feeling like he's already stepped into like the trainer partner friend of this little thing is like, I haven't trained him yet. I've only known him for like 5 minutes. Give
My
me
God,
time, bud.
Could you like Mario Lopez like? Or no, is it Caesar Romano who's the dog whisperer? Can you Caesar Romano this?
Mario Lopez is like a comedian.
Yeah, I know. I got the best.
Are you talking about like South Park?
No,
Like,
Caesar, like
Oh no,
Whisperer.
Mario
Caesar
Lopez
Romano
is
is a-
AC Slater from
Oh.
Professional dog
Yes.
whisperer.
Yes.
Well,
Caesar
I
Romano
want to.
is the dog whisperer.
I want to just kind of like sit down on my hind legs, just kind of like have like my hands perched on my knees, and just kind of like do like the little, and just like I'm at a distance, obviously from it, but I want to allow it to come to me versus me getting up in its business and invading its space. And I'm just kind of like, hello.
All right, make animal handling check. At this point, Quincy, you're like starting to pour out the various stew to.
I'm just very entertained by the fact that our cat people are failing to befriend this displacer beast
Hey.
You ever put two cats in the same room?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm having that issue right now. I trust me, I know.
I got 13.
Lucifer this whole time is just sitting here, just like very uncharacteristically just watching this cat.
Just so
So you
happy.
just sort of go to like, here, come here.
Mhm.
Just putting your hand out, and it kind of finishes eating a little meat, and it kind of hears the sound of your fingers rubbing together. Becomes a little bit intrigued. Jumps onto the table and just sort of inquisitively starts coming towards you.
You're so athletic. Wow, how handsome. Mm-hmm.
He's everybody's favorite cat now.
And as Moss, as you're kind of getting to know the kitten, by this point, Quincy, you're doling out all the bowls of different food, and all the kids seem like extremely excited to eat your stew, like weirdly excited. They don't know you're a great chef. They don't, but for some reason they're just like,
Okay.
make me a perception check.
Okay. I am not excited for that. 9 plus 5, 14.
14. So you kind of like hearing like a bunch of huddled voices of the kids as they're just all talking to each other, getting bowls. But a couple of them coming up to getting a bowl. You're to them like, oh my God, I can't wait. This will be so good. We'll never let us eat any mushrooms locally. I can't. It's gonna be so much.
Wait. Why? What's the matter with the mushrooms?
Nothing.
Are they psychedelic?
I
Oh my
want to
God,
look
we're gonna
in
trip
the.
balls.
I want to look into the pot and Arcana check the mushrooms real
Can
quick.
I do a nature?
So it would be a nature check.
Oh,
not a-
nature check.
Ah,
Can I nature check the mushrooms?
I will say it might be too late because Archeron already
Probably.
is like scooping ladle into mode.
Oh, absolutely. 13 plus
kid-
3. The kid had so much. 16.
The kitten has like catnip, just like. Meow.
So this is a high DC of a 20 because you're not
Sure.
particularly familiar with the Feywild vegetation.
Of course.
So if you look into the stew and you start to notice like almost like gold flakes starting to emerge through the sort of yellowish hue of the stew that weren't there before, and they seem to be like peeling off from the various mushroom chunks that you put into the stew and like mixing in with the broth.
Mhm.
Ebby, do you know what these mushrooms do? What these mushrooms are?
Evie comes up, and even though he's still been lost the whole time, he's like, "What's a Pokemon?"
Oh no. Whoa. I'll answer that as soon as you answer this. What mushrooms are these?
So Evie goes over, looks at them, and sees the gold flakes. What type of roll do you want me to do? Nature?
Yeah.
Why do my hands feel so
Oh
weird?
no. Archeon, I need you to sit down, okay?
My hand stays, but it's moving.
Because my hand is moving so fast.
Oh no.
It's the theme of this campaign, okay? Since the beginning, when you put
Oh,
mushrooms and
no.
things locally, weird shit happens.
Oh, I remember. I thought I was on fire.
It's happened twice.
Uh-oh. I didn't know this!
I love mushrooms. I love mushrooms.
Lucifer's-
Reoccurring thing?
Lucifer's just been paying just nothing but attention to this cat and just sees everyone who's like eating things now just doing weird things. He's like, you guys all right? It was the mushrooms again, wasn't it?
And you start to see Lucy. Did you have some?
No, I've been staring at the cat the entire time.
So you look over. You're not affected yet. You haven't had any, but you look over, and some of the kids just start to float.
Oh no!
And various gold glitter is kind of like coming off of their bodies as they start giggling and dancing and just like flipping over each other in concentric circles and just like pushing off each other and like bumping into the bark of the tree and
Abby, what kind of mushrooms were those?
I rolled a 16.
Oh no!
A 16. So yeah, these shrooms are not deadly. But they are psychedelic, and depending on how much you ingest, can have some very interesting effects.
So Abby just takes like a spoon and like pokes it around. I was like, well, if you eat a lot of it, it looks like something crazy is gonna happen.
Okay.
I'm gonna like run to the kitchen. You just see Quincy just run to the kitchen and just like, you just hear a clattering of a bunch of things. And he's just
Abby looks at us like, is this Quincy's usual cooking? Does Quincy make people high?
Wait, man.
But Archeon, since you ate the bowl of stew, I need you to make me a wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom saving throw.
I'm going to start unraveling Fluffy, and I'm going to start trying to like round up the kids.
Hey, jail!
Well, the
All
thing
of their
is,
eyes are just black, by the way.
oh my gosh.
Also, how's the kitty? Because the kitty had some stew as well.
is the kitty floating?
Yeah.
Abby pulls this like, would you like to float with everyone?
I'm gonna, since I'm closest to the cat, I'm just gonna be like, okay, we're just gonna stay right here, and I'm gonna wrap it with Fluffy and tie it to a chair, or I guess like to like,
Oh no!
All right. Aiden, I need you to roll me a D100.
Wow. D100.
Two D10s.
Okay.
So the ones that with double digits on them, both the diamond-looking dice.
Oh, yes.
One has double digits, so one goes to 10.
Yeah. So that's the D100. Oh, yeah, okay.
So one of them's a D10 with double numbers, and there's another one that's a D10 with single numbers.
Okay.
Got a 0 on it. So roll 2 of those and tell me the result. The double numbers will be the main number, and the single number will be the second one.
The double numbers are the tens place.
Yes.
yeah, like 70 and 60.
I got 20 and 6. So
26.
26.
Ooh.
Remember when I got a 1? I
You
thought
see
I was
the
on fire.
7'9"
So you
leaf-
start
Tripping balls.
eating the stew. And a little often, like, you start to see all of these kids like floating up with gold flake dust like coming out of their bodies and just floating there, giggling unabhorrently. This really heightened sense of self starts to envelop your brain. You feel this cool breeze on your body. Everything just feels so like your skin's so incredibly sensitive. This cool down comes through.
I made it so soft.
And you start to see Archeon floating up into the air
Massive cat
and various gold glitter coming off of their fur body and off their mane. Their eyes so big and black. But Archeon, your ability to hear, your senses are incredibly heightened. You can hear conversations happening like far down the shadowy path of the forest. You can hear almost like squirrels up in the trees gnawing and barking. Your reflexes are incredibly sharp. You have a 1 charge use of this wild magic effect. Let me see. I just had the doc. So you have this charge within you that you can use whenever you want. Think of it as like an inspiration to use.
Okay.
Once you use it, it's gone. It's a one-time use. You gain advantage on all attack rolls and opposed checks against creatures smaller than you for an hour.
Oh my god!
What the heck? We should freaking go right now to Yawn. What?
You hear Quincy just kind of like, I can fix this in the kitchen.
I am a god.
And you have like
The
fluffy
hour
lassoed-
starts now, though.
Oh.
But you will be able to use that ability as a one-time use in combat after this.
Okay. So the effect is currently happening, but I get a one-time use of that.
So
same
when you're
thing.
in combat, if you're like, I'm going to use that wild magic ability, it's a one-off. So if you're in combat, you'll have in that one sort of round, in that moment of combat, you'll have on your turn, you'll have advantage on all attack rolls and opposed checks against creatures smaller than you. That's the important note. Smaller.
Okay.
Write that down.
It's a bad time to not have a pen.
Oh no! I'll write it for you.
Use notepad.
You have trippy mushroom inspiration. So
Trippy mushroom inspiration, and I had from getting the nat 20. I had
the D4 or a reroll inspiration. Yeah.
A reroll whatever you want.
I will write that for you.
Thank
so you
you.
can get anyone smaller than you to do something? Is that it?
No.
No,
You have
so
advantage on
basically-
attack rolls and opposed checks.
Yeah.
So say if there was like he was trying to grab something from somebody, he'd have advantage on that check as his opposed check.
Got
if they're
strength for
smaller
strength.
than me.
Yeah.
Got it.
Which is, I mean, as long as we're not facing, I hope nobody is 7'10". That's all I hope, because I'm 7'9". So,
And the
Thank you,
Displacer
Jack.
Beast is also gonna roll.
Oh my gosh! Yes.
for
Got an
once,
8.
eating something is a bonus for me.
The cat got an 8, so it failed its wisdom save. 83. Okay. You don't know what it does to the cat, but I do.
Cat is a day.
Insight check.
Do any of you taste the stew?
Heavy 6 is wand in it.
I'm pretty sure I would have tasted it during the cooking process.
As you stick your sentient stick into the stew, you hear.
No, drown it. Drown it. Keep doing that. Drown it.
Like, did this help?
Oh my gosh.
Quincy, are you having some?
I probably would have tasted it as I was cooking it.
Okay.
So maybe the effects were a little bit delayed, but my a wisdom save was 13.
13, okay. Let me see here. Okay. Yeah, roll me a D100.
85.
85.
Isn't this fun?
I just wanted you to play
trying
as well.
new things,
This is
almost
like the
dying. Like
third time mushrooms
Getting
have come
high
into
together.
play.
It's fun.
So as you kind of like, you're like, you start to see kids floating up in the air. You start to see Archeon float up in the air. I can see everything! And just like,
Oh my god.
your vision gets a bit blurry for a minute. And you kind of shake it off. As you shake it off, like little bits of gold flake kind of come out of your hair onto the floor. And you look over to your right, and there's a little glass carton of milk. And a wisp of purple cloud that's like dissipating.
So I see milk.
Looks
I'll
like
reach for it.
like a glass carton of milk.
I'll reach for a glass carton of milk.
Okay. Pick it up.
Is it like solid? Is it like
It's like
hot
liquid.
Oh, I'll smell it. What does it smell like?
It has like a honeydew smell to it.
Mm.
Like
I'll
a
take a-
honeydew, sorry, like a honeyed milk
Yeah.
sort of flavor.
I'll dip my finger in there and lick my finger.
Tastes good.
Oh no.
Anything interesting?
It's just a glass thing of honeyed milk.
I will take the honeydew milk and I'll take it to the stew and I will try to dilute the effects of the mushroom.
Okay.
And try to like, I want to put extra things in the stew to kind of like, when I notice it's not harmful and it's not going to kill them. It's just kind of like, they're if I can see that they're actually enjoying it, I'm gonna try to just dilute it so it's not as potent, but also maybe make the stew thicker and
a bit
Pluck
creamier.
the mushrooms out.
yeah. It's protein. It's fine.
Ugh.
All right. So after a while, unless nobody else wants to try the stew.
Lucy's gonna play DD on this one.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
His growing love for this cat takes over his feeling of hunger.
You just see a bunch of people tied down with like strings of fluffy. They're like little balloons now, just kind of like floating in this like open area. So Moss is just like, did I miss anyone?
You just see this like sea of floating children with red string tied to their ankles, just floating in the air so they don't go up any higher.
Yeah.
As the last imagery of the party sitting around these long wood tables of kids laughing and having a great time with gold flakes coming from their bodies, all tied with red yarn string. After a while, they're able to dilute the stew and make it so it's not as adverse effects. And as you kind of wind down for the day, you find various places to sleep for the night, unless there's anything else you'd like to do before the next day comes.
During the long rest kind of situation, I would like to take 3 bottles and make 3 cooked treats using my chef feat and just kind of have 3 small kind of like shot glasses essentially of the stew.
Sure.
So I can use them as a bonus action during the next day.
Okay.
Lucifer, during the long rest, would like to just continue to befriend the cat and hopefully continue to build that relationship of trust.
Yeah. You kind of get like, it takes a little bit, but you are like, it is starting to become more and more friendly to you as you're kind of feeding it more bits of meat and various foods. And eventually its effects wear off as it kind of starts to float down. But for a while there, as you're going to the bed, you're holding it like a balloon, like with a red piece of yarn as you're going down the tree path with it just floating around. He was like, I'm going to bed, bye friends.
Abby wants to ask Quincy if he saw any jars, empty jars.
Yeah, that's probably a couple, maybe, if I saw some in the kitchen.
Abby goes to the kitchen and look for some jars.
Yeah, there's a couple empty ones.
Okay. Do they say anything about like I can take them freely or anything like that, or is there okay? Can I do perception check to see if there's anyone around that I can ask?
You feel like you've got an instinct that like no one's gonna miss them if they go. You'll be fine.
Okay. Abby exactly takes 5 jars.
5? Okay.
Maybe we'll find more pool water.
Quincy likes feet. You like dirty pool water.
Why is it dirty?
I didn't think, because it's Bavlora's water. It's Bavlora's water. I walk away with Arctron as my balloon.
I'm like, like floating through the air.
I think I like pull him down and I start tying him to like a tree so that
my tail. You're just holding my tail. Like, oh, God, let's go.
I can kind of just picture that, and you just your head hits the banister very solidly.
Oh.
and I just tie him up for the night.
Oh my God, that actually has happened to IRL though.
Oh no!
Yeah, my buddy tried to fit me through a doorway, carry me this way, and I was so drunk. I was drunk that he didn't like fold me enough through the doorway, and then all you hear is. And I woke up and I had a huge goose egg on my head. Yeah, he hit me good. But it was like the drunken like Sorry.
Yep.
I love it.
If everyone is
Okay.
going to bed, I think
I'm gonna go to bed. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I will stand guard a little bit. Be the last to go to bed, unless I feel like this is a safe place where perhaps we don't have to take turns to watch. It's been a while since
It's
we've
a
been
safe
kinda
place.
on
You've got the shambling mound looking over you. You've got Little Oak the Treant sort of being the sort of community guard, as it were. So you feel like this is a pretty safe space. You don't necessarily need to keep watch, but it's totally up to you if you would like to.
Okay. I think after I tie up Archer onto a tree, I just kind of like
Thanks.
go to one of the mushroom tables and just kind of like curl up and lay on it. Just kind of keep an eye on him, as well as like the kids who I'm guessing we also just kind of tied up and bundled in the middle of the field. I'm just kind of like every now and then just kind of peeking up, just watching, and then just going back to sleep. Yeah.
Exactly. Eventually, the effect dissipates and they're not floating anymore, and they slowly come back down.
Good.
Tired out. There's a little bit of bundles of them just kind of like passing out in patches of grass with Little Oak the tree and just kind of standing watch and looking over them. And eventually your eyes get heavy and all of you kind of pass out, ready for the morning sun to take you hold.
Woo!
As a long rest.
Long rest, everyone.
Yeah.
How you feeling,
Love it.
buddy?
It is the morning as the various beams of sunlight kind of perch through the tree line from wherever you slept, whether you slept outside or a makeshift bedroll tent, or maybe one of the empty living situations inside the treehouse. Various beams of sunlight all kind of hit your face from different angles. Some people who are a little bit more hungover than others feel this immense vice grip headache just take hold of their temples, and their like blood has kind of left their faces. They're looking a bit flush. Veins are kind of popping out on their forearms and temples as Archeon slowly starts to get up from his slumber.
You good there? Okay. Yep. I unsheath the claw and I cut him down. He goes.
Why? Why am I falling? Why does everything hurt?
For the majority of the night, you were flying, which was
Yeah, I definitely was.
you were high as a kite.
Yeah. What's that over there?
I fall for it. What?
Lucifer grabs
something over there.
Lucifer grabs Tall so that they're not tempted to go like investigate the puke on the ground. No.
Okay,
Not for
you. We're learning things. I kind of joined this
Group?
this group a little bit later on here. So I'm just realizing that I think Quincy's cooking.
Oh, I don't think it's his cooking.
It's to my understanding that it's the first. Actually, no, it's the second thing of me, but from Quincy. But
So as the two of you are kind of talking, conversing, Archeon, you get another blinding headache as you hear this loud screeching trumpet sound.
oh my
God.
Amber. And it's Amador, the dandelion, with a tiny little trumpet.
No way.
All right, friends, are we ready to tarry on to the farthest depths of the mountain terrains?
Full roar, like full lion roar. Like I leaned down and just
make an intimidation check.
Intimidation.
How close is Eddie standing to his roar?
Intimidation. 18.
The leaves like flat behind him as he.
All right, fine. We're not morning people. You don't have to shout. Jesus Christ. Whoever that is.
Do you have any leftover mushrooms? I want to see a dandelion float.
Actually, we should have kept some of those.
We should have. Quincy!
For the
Quincy!
trail.
No, not so loud. Not so loud.
Oh,
What?
Do you still have some of the mushrooms that you put in the stew yesterday?
Oh yeah, let's go round 2. Yeah.
I am
Hair
so
of the dog.
sorry.
Hair
This
of
has
the
happened
dog.
again. I forgot about the mushrooms. I thought they were fine.
Again.
Not
Okay. To be fair, when we first came here, had some mushroom soup from someone else.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
You could say it was
Okay.
a party.
Uh-huh.
Things
Yeah.
happen. We got crazy.
apparently all the mushrooms psychedelics.
Induction to the Feywild. Welcome.
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 I have 3 bottles left of the stuff.
Good.
I'm gonna give you my flasks
I
of
want to,
water,
like,
my
grab
canteen of water.
Mhm.
Throw it.
I take the flask of water and it kind of like most of it goes down the chin.
No, do you need a straw? There's a river down the hill. Just stomp off.
Lucifer looks at both these guys just like, look guys, all I've got to help you all is experience. And then looks at Alcreon, my buddies who also rage. As soon as you do that, it'll be right out of your blood system. Quincy, unless you've got something to fix it, buddy, you should have
I need
roll with the
I need
punches.
an omelet.
Oh, I need to poo.
You know what, Moss? I think they just need something like greasy in the stomach. They'll feel better,
Greasy.
Classic breakfast.
Can I find some like poultry? And is there like any? I don't know. Maybe I should go up into the kitchen to see if I can find any
Bacon or sausage.
yeah, something that has like grease to it. Yeah.
Lucy's gonna take Star into the near wooded area with his longbow to go see if he can help find some protein for cooking.
Yeah.
Protein for cooking. Well, actually, like as you guys are kind of getting up, because you slept in a little bit, as the
Okay, never mind.
the sunlight kind of beaming in through the trees, you can start to smell a bit of breakfast already being made as Elkhorn has kind of decided to take reins on making breakfast this morning.
Oh, thank God.
I cradle Quincy and walk over.
Oh my God, thank God.
Come here. We'll get some food. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I look at Elcourt. This doesn't have mushrooms in it, right?
Oh
mushrooms.
God, no. We've done our good due diligence to never give the children any of the local mushrooms.
What's wrong with it?
They make you a little bit loopy and give you a hankering hangover
your-
the next
ask
day.
your headache, Quincy.
Huh?
Little giggles. Here, then I take a plate from Elkhorn. I give it to Quincy as he's sitting down by this giant table mushroom.
And I kind of just like have my head down next to the plate, and I'm just kind of like shoveling food from the plate. Like my mouth is like
my God.
next to the plate. And it's just
So as you kind of do that, you kind of start to go, like you're meeting at the communal dining area again. All the kids are kind of up, and some of them are like,
Oh, sorry,
just
baby.
a bunch of like 8, 10, and 11-year-olds, all like all just like head. Some of them are already asleep on the table. Some have not even woken up yet.
My God.
But Elkhorn is kind of, with some of the help of the kids, like doling out these like linked sausage-looking types of food with some oatmeal on the side. And Quincy, as you're on the table, like just put it and the sausages kind of like pop a little bit, kind of like when a sausage is cooked really well, the juices inside kind of splurge, but a bit of like what looks like blood kind of pops out of it and kind of gets on your face a little bit. And Elkhorn kind of has this big white frilly frock for like a cooking apron on, with his giant horned battle helmet and his axe on his back. He's like, "What's the matter with you? Haven't you ever had owlbear intestines before?"
What?
Lucifer says, "Oh, intestines," takes a big old bite, as messy as it can be.
Like I am like shoveling,
Yeah.
like comically after barfing everything up that was in my stomach. I am now comically shoving these.
And it's hard to tell because you've got the butcher's bib on, your black apron, splurting out blood. So for you, like it's splurging on your face, but your bib makes it look like it's just a river of blood flowing down the front of your body.
Is any of that actually like getting eaten? I can't tell.
Honestly, I have no idea anymore. I can't take it off.
Okay, so Quincy, and I'm rubbing the grease off his cheek, off his like face, you know, just okay. You're taking care of. Where's Ebby? Does Ebby eat meat? I don't think so. Ebby,
Hi.
where are you?
I'm on the roof.
Nice.
I'm on the roof.
Are you still high? Were you ever high?
I'm on the roof. I'm on.
You're high up.
He's always
Okay.
high. Have you met him?
Always high. He's a bird.
Okay.
Physically.
Do you want food?
Always.
Okay. I think there's some eggs down here. I kind of.
Abby's
Your
face
people
was shocked.
scrambled.
Abby's face was shocked. What?
These are pre-Ebby embryos.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, just like clap like in the face of
Abby's face is like this horrified.
I'm sure we can find some
Why
vegetables.
can't we have a normal family meal?
According to you, that is my family.
Lucifer turns amongst like laughs to Elkhorn and says, anything for our feathered friend. By chance.
Vegetarian?
Okay.
Seeds.
Reaches into the grass. How's this?
Grass?
He flutters down and knows it's a gift. He's like, thank you. And
You
just
see
flies
Ebby
back.
like go to it and just like thank you and go.
Yeah.
Just eat it like a bird and just swallow down
Yeah.
the clumps of grass.
And then he flutters back up. He's like, "Ugh, I wish I had that caramel apple person again.
Oh.
Oh no.
No.
Nom,
No.
nom, nom.
Thank you for the grass. And then he just like looks at everyone.
The rest of you are able to eat your meal. Some a bit of a more struggle than others. As you slowly kind of make your way back to the precipice of the little hilltop. As a kind of a meeting area to gather your things. Elkhorn is nearby. Everyone's there to kind of like wish you, send you off well. Dandelion starts to come over to you guys.
Now just wait just a minute there, friends. Before we head off, I have a little bit of a request.
I will carry you, yes.
Well, I bloody well hope so. I have little leaf legs here.
Or you can sit on my head and hold my horns. I'm sure that Star would not mind.
You can sit with my
Maybe.
fireflies.
Options.
Any seat will do, but that is beyond the point. I am happy to guide you towards the Palace of Desire through the treacherous mountainside of yon to face peril and dangers unlike any other.
Yay!
Great.
But a little bit of a rule of reciprocity, if you don't mind. It's a custom here in our lands. I do something for you, maybe you do something for old Amador.
Oh, what's the catch, Amadon?
Okay, who's the dandelion that you wanna woo?
Over killing.
Who's the daisy?
Gleam, do you
Sunflower?
want to come out here for a minute?
Gleam.
As Armador shouts out to a person named Gleam. And you see some of the crowds of kids kind of part a little bit. And you see what looks like could be a drow. Definitely an elf of some kind with the sort of more pale purple skin. They come to you and there's their outfit. They're wearing like a button-down shirt with a collar. It's kind of a cream coloration with a bunch of like little outline blue lines of like crescent moons and stars all over the pattern, sort of wrapped hands and forearms. This sort of second layer of clothing above the button shirt. That's sort of a turquoise white striped shirt that kind of comes down like overalls into a bunch of leather belts that go along the waist and a light turquoise skirt that kind of frocks down. to some sort of leggings that have the same design as the shirt did, with the sort of blue outlined stars and crescent moons. Leather boots that kind of strap up high with little turquoise ribbons on the side that kind of tie them up, and wearing what appears to be a crescent moon mask that kind of curves along the side of their head, their face, and like sort of a white pale mask that covers the top half of their head. And they have a dark aqua green coloration in their hair that has kind of a ponytail to the side. And as Armadora, Dandelion, with Paulina the Bee buzzing around their head, this is my friend Gleam. During my recent trip over to Yon, I found Gleam wandering the wilds and the cliff faces all by themselves, and they had quite a story to tell me, as she begged me for help, and I was obliged and happy to do so. Apparently, Gleam here has a twin sister named Glista, and Endlin Moongrave, the witch hag that she is, snipped off Gleam's shadow using a pair of magical scissors and imprisoned her sister back in her home of Motherhome. And as you look down at Gleam, the sun shining down, you see that she casts no shadow. Everyone else around the vicinity has a shadow on the ground. They appear to not have one. And as you know, the rule of hospitality in these lands prevents the hag from harming Glista, but Gleam can sense her sister's distress. The twin used to work as an acrobatic duo, and they used to be star performers in, what did you call it? It was the Witchlight Carnival. Yes, right, Witchlight Carnival. Never heard of it, must not be that popular. Anyways, Gleam here wants her sister freed and try to find a way back to the carnival. These fey beacons of sorts, littered throughout the land of Yon, have a way of getting one back to the material plane. Ergo, I lead you to the Palace of Heart's Desire. You help me find Gleam's sister here and return them safely back to the material plane.
Sounds good to us.
Deal. We've been trying to do that. We have ways to get people back to the material plane that don't include the potentially dangerous conduits of electricity.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
We actually have the mirror. We have a magic mirror from Bavlorna.
It was too good to leave behind.
Yeah, it's in the balloon.
Well,
Yeah.
that might be very handy. Didn't you say there was somebody else at Enderlin's place that also used to work at the carnival?
Yeah. It's big. Hairy. His name was Curly.
Burly.
Hurley, yes.
And like Ma shuffles her feet and like twists her tail around her. Burly.
Yeah. Hurley. He was a bugbear. Made some sort of bargain with Endelin, and he was quite unhappy with how things played out. Now he's kind of forced to perform in her morbid theater. Kind of like
But-
Gleam.
Burley is on the material plane. What do you mean he's a part of her act?
So I'm there not just 2 days ago.
Maybe I never took a look. Maybe his shadow was also severed. What was it? His shadow? Like when you say your sister Glister, she's shadow, or is she actually tangible?
She's tangible. I know that Hurley he said he arrived there recently. It could have been just a recent arrival.
What?
How long have you guys been in here for?
Oh, how does time work in the Feywild versus the material plane? Anyone know?
No.
Sun goes up, sun goes down, new days come.
We've been here for probably a good couple weeks, maybe.
Oh.
I've been here for even shorter.
Yeah, it might just be a new recent arrival. Do you know him?
I do. He actually helped us when we were
We
on the
accidentally
material.
knocked him out.
We might have had a little tussle with him. An exercise, if you will.
Oh. Because, you know, he was a security guard. And
Still
you
is.
Yeah.
got past
Not
his
that good of one.
security?
Yep.
Yeah. Because
Oh, you're the Monarch 4.
You didn't see the firework last night? I mean,
Yeah.
maybe not that clear, but
I saw something. It looked a bit strange. I thought it was like a face or...
it's a work in progress. It's fine. It's work in progress. It's okay.
Well, he might want to really get back home too if we find him.
Okay.
Yeah. We also, I think, have his daughter here. One of the children is a bugbear.
You found her?
Am I saying too much?
No, he talked about her fondly.
do you know what her name is?
I don't think I have her name.
Gleam, do you know what her name is by chance?
He never said the name outright, just that he had someone back home that he missed or was missing or...
Are the children around with us at breakfast or no?
Some of them were, but they've all kind of gone back to their various homes and such.
Okay.
Well, maybe we can bring him back. You can bring him back here after you
Yes.
find him?
Maybe that would be the way to go, since we seem to be returning back here anyway
Mm-hmm.
for multiple reasons. Though.
A plan is forming.
Yes.
Great.
Hey, that's my sound effect to make, not yours.
He makes the sound effect every time he puts his little toothpick sword up there.
I didn't know it was copyright. I'm sorry.
Oh God.
That adds so much to the character.
I think he's posing.
He's posing. All right, I guess we head to Yon.
Yeah.
That's correct. You said you had some sort of balloon nearby.
Are we gonna use the balloon or not? I
Well, we
thought
used
were
our
gonna-
Well,
legs.
that'll take us the bulk of the way, and then once we get past the mist and the fog into the upper levels near the mountains, we'll have to place it somewhere nearby and ascend on foot.
That sounds good.
Okay. It's back by the lake, isn't it? No. It's at Loom Lurch.
It's Loom Lurch. It's right outside Loom Lurch.
All right, won't take us too long to get there from here.
Yep.
All right.
Come on, chaps, no time like the present.
Lucifer packs up some extra little breakfast stuff to keep for Star along the way.
And you see Amador to get the rapier from here and go, making a sound as he's sheathing it, just like into his other leaf hand, and then like making like squeak sounds as he goes forward.
I have expected him to confidently like put his arms up. Carry me.
Uppy. Uppy.
Uppies.
Uppy.
Every
I just gotta
time
scoop him.
every time he makes a sound effect, Lucifer's just okay. Let's
As he starts to walk down the hillside towards sort of the front entrance to the hideaway, it says,
Farewell, children, I shall return.
We'll be back soon.
Scoop. And put him up on my head, and then I'm
and Elkhorn comes to you all and kind of gives you one final sort of hug and shake of the hand, like, we appreciate this so much. With your help, we'll restore these lands back to what they once were. I'll stay here and take care of the children. Don't you worry. We'll await your safe arrival.
I will take care of Star. I promise. I'll bring him back better than ever.
scoop up Abby in one arm. And I just
So that Will has something exciting when he returns.
Show that hag the business.
absolutely.
Oh no. She's gonna get the business. She's gonna get the whole company.
Oi, the business!
Lucifer, uncharacteristically way more bubbly than he ever has been. Yep, the business, paying no attention, just walks after little dandelion man.
All the kids too just raise their hands. The business! The business! The business! that stupid hag what for? Yeah, rip her stupid eyes out.
I like you.
Yeah,
I like
let's go
it.
back to playing, okay?
Can we not take the demon children? Let's do that. Come on. Useful.
Good allies, yeah.
Possibly, yeah.
We must
No,
foster
it's
this
okay with the
spirit.
people behind.
Lucifer, as they're all walking down the hill, Lucifer turns back to Elkhorn and says, "Tell the little bugbear father, go find. We'll be back. See. She'll see him soon." And then keeps going.
Yeah. Anything else you want to do before you head off to your balloon?
I got everything I need, I think.
I think
Where's
we're
yours?
good.
Spell slots, my potions, my god.
My kitty.
He's not-
Star.
With its laser red eyes shining. Okay, so you all gather your things, pack up your bags, roll up your bedrolls, with Amador leading the charge. Ebby saying goodbye to their shambling mound pet. I assume you keep the sentient stick with you.
Yes. Did anything happen to
Okay.
the stick when it had the mushrooms?
Huh.
No, unfortunately.
Oh, you don't
Nothing.
see mushrooms start to sprout like off of the stick.
Boink, boink, boink.
God, I sure hope not.
We found it a body.
Just swipe some of the mushrooms.
Just kind of like pop it like a.
So yeah, you get led the charge. Elkhorn kind of joins you for this leg of the journey back to the weather balloon, as he guided you through there before, just so you don't get lost or anything. With Amador confidently striding beside, with Paulina the bumblebee whizzing behind to and fro around its dandelion head. Several hours go by, nothing in sight. You kind of see some of the local wildlife sort of pass you by, but nothing of note. You get various scents of the forest kind of coming towards you, some smelling like actual flowers and material playing, like lavenders, roses, something like that. And just every so often you just get like scents of like sweet baked treats, things like that, like fresh baked cookies, cinnamon rolls, those kind of things wafting by. But eventually you make your way back to where you hid your weather balloon, and you see a very particular Clabberclaw, your other first familiar friend you met back in the Soggy Bottom Court, that you had directed to guard this weather balloon. And you can just see Clabberclaw like on the edge of the basket of the weather balloon.
Clapperclaw. He speaks Draconic, or not Draconic. What is it? Abyssal.
What did I hear him say?
Yeah.
What did Abby and I hear him say?
You hear him say,
I long for the warmth of the fire pit. Please bring me back to the depths down below.
Lucifer looks over at Abby.
Like
Is he a demon?
I hold him up.
Capricorn, the last boss of the game.
The last boss.
Are you good,
roll,
buddy?
Clabberclaw, this human boy that was transformed into a sentient gourd with giant claw hands and little feet with kind of a jack-o'-lantern face and smile, suddenly gets awoken violently. It's like, I'm sorry, guys. I swear I wasn't sleeping on the job. I kept the weather balloon all safe for you.
Lucifer
We did
walks
find his
up.
head, though, right?
Yes.
We did find his head. Yeah, so he has the stag head right now.
Oh, that's correct. Sorry, yes. You found
But
its
keep
real
the
head.
voice.
Now
Yeah.
the small stag head that is on top, no longer the gourd. Or did you put it on top of the gourd?
No, we exchanged it, and
Archer
then
and
the
Archer
voice.
and
Eight.
Eight.
Board.
Yeah, Archer and Eight.
I know, yeah, that's
Correct. So
That's
yes,
in a pile
where the
way back
antler, skull is now atop of the body of Clabberclaw. So same thing, you shake him and the skull head is talking to you in the same fashion.
Okay,
Uh,
good. Because
Lucifer
I
walks
did
up.
change the antlers to get that voice again.
Lucifer walks up and says, Clabberclaw, what were you dreaming of?
Oh, I don't dream.
What do you know of warmth of hellfires and anything of dark demonic origin, mayhaps?
I don't know. I haven't really heard many people talk about that kind of thing. Clabberclaw just likes to kind of hang out here in the forest, where it's clean and green and nice and sunny.
Insight.
Yeah.
Evie, what do you think?
Well, Evie's doing an
Insight.
insight immediately from that part.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
Oh!
2 in a row.
I had a 17, but it fell out.
Me and Quincy are kind of like looking at each other like,
You go over to you like sort of looking at Clabberclaw, and it's hard to tell because it is a stag skull that the bones seem to be able to be manipulated like facial muscles. You don't see that he's lying or that he's telling a fib. He's being 1000% honest.
Okay.
In Abyssal, Ellie's gonna just say, I need your help.
Oh, is he okay? Does he need a lozenge or something?
Probably.
Evie just coughs.
Lucifer turns to Abby and says in Abyssal, Should we share with our friends what we just heard?
what are you?
Maybe once.
You're
Y'all
saying
need
that to
water?
you?
Yeah, I'm responding back to an Abyssal. Maybe once the thing is not in earshot.
Y'all need water.
And as you two are kind
throw
of
it.
shouting Abyssal to each other, Amador kind of looks over to Amador and they're like,
Oh, you found a new friend?
Oh, don't be jealous. And I cradle Clapperclaw.
in Abyssal, Evie's like, be jealous.
What?
don't worry. And you see Amador kind of address Clabberclaw like, don't worry, my friend. I'm here to help guide your way through the mountainous, treacherous terrain of Yar. This here's my friend, Palmella.
Oh, all right then. If they're okay with you, it's okay with me.
And Clabberclaw, this is also a new friend of ours. His name is Star.
What?
Don't worry. It's friendly. Just move very slowly around him. No sudden movements. We are
You
training
did
him.
pick up a lot of friends when you left Clabberclaw, didn't you?
Well, Clabberclaw, my thought process is that once Star is big enough and trained, you can ride along on top of Star.
That's all right. I don't know how I'm gonna touch it. I got claws for hands, but that's
Yeah,
fine.
probably not. You're probably not going to ever pet Star. Don't do that.
No, look, we'll get a chain
That's
eventually,
very sad.
a nice chain collar. That way you don't break it. And
Well, we could also like tie up his claws so that he just kind of was like, you.
Oh. Well, that could work out all right. Where we going next?
To
up and
Jan,
away.
Oh. Okay.
would you like to stay here?
Well, if you don't mind, yeah, Jan is a very scary place. But I also don't want to be left alone. Clabberclaw doesn't like being left alone.
Well, we do need someone to
you
watch
need to call
the.
the balloon again?
We will.
Because you can't entrust that to Cat Thing and Flower Boy here.
Oh, don't worry. The cat thing is coming with us. Don't worry.
And you've
about
done
that.
a wonderful job at keeping the balloon safe. So
Indeed.
we are not going to take the balloon into Jan, but we will get it close to Jan, and we will take the rest on foot.
Okay, yeah.
Sounds good.
I can do that for you. Clabberclaw will
Very-
continue not to touch the balloon with its sharp claws.
Yes.
Good
You're
job.
doing so well,
Yes.
Clabberclaw.
Wonderful.
We have a very important mission for you. Watch the balloon.
Okay. Yeah.
You can touch
I'll-
anyone else
yeah.
who's not us who tries to get to the balloon, though. Aim for the
Oh.
neck.
I've killed a couple rabbits.
Or the
Ah.
Achilles.
I found there was a deer, and I
Mhm.
snapped one of his legs off and didn't come near it. And
Good.
so, yeah.
You would be so proud. So
I think
proud.
it's just getting a
And the
little
smell,
mortified.
you gone for a while, so the smell was a little bit strong. So Clapperclaw had to take the bodies of the animals and bury them nearby. But it's okay, because then
Good.
There was an enchanted elk that came by, and then we did a little bit of a ritual, and it raised the things back from the dead, but it wasn't creepy or anything. We got it back as life because Clapperclaw felt bad. So we got it back up and running again. So it's like nothing ever happened.
We should go.
Okay,
Undead
good job,
deer.
Clapperclaw. All right, okay, let's get out of here.
Lucifer looks over at Abby again, just like taking a mental note of that.
All right, so as you all kind of assume the positions inside of the storm weather balloon,
While we go and do everything, I want to teach Clapperclaw kind of some moves and stuff. I want to teach him a move called the Monk Maker. Basically, you just aim for the crotch.
The monk maker.
The eunuch maker. Got it, okay.
roll a charisma check.
What is it?
Natural
A nat
20.
20. No.
Oh
Those
my
dice!
God.
So
Oh my
as
God.
you begin to float up into the sky,
Oh my god.
you know, Quincy working the controls and everything. Amador sort of safely put on sort of the edge of the basket, holding on tight. What ho! Forward, friends! And you start to elevate the weather balloon as he kind of guides you towards where to go next. Few hours go by. Sort of Quincy kind of putting the weather balloon in kind of steady drive mode as you're kind of drifting and going forward for a little bit. The rest of you kind of take points to kind of just like look at the scenery as the weather balloon goes above the clouds and you see the sun kind of shining, various birds flapping by, and Quincy kind of taking time to like, you just see Quincy in the back like, yes, which one do you? Yeah, right in the corner. Like that.
Like this. Like that.
Yeah, perfect, wonderful, just like that, and just real clean, nice and clean,
Okay.
and they'll
Should I-
never bother you again. Promise
Can I
you.
practice on one of them?
No.
I can
No.
be real quick.
I
The
believe you.
hesitation.
I believe you, but no. But if you end up doing it to somebody else, don't keep it. But just let me know if you do.
Don't keep what? The genitals?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Oh my god.
Well, or you can try to resurrect them. I don't know what that'll do, but you know.
Resurrect. Resurrect.
Oh
No.
my god.
Me and a lot of the Bullywog warriors, when they would get a kill of one of the enemies, they had various trophies, like toes and fingers and stuff. Maybe that can be Clapperclaw's trophy.
Dude, no.
No.
You could wear it on your neck like beads.
Oh my God.
No. This is for self-defense only, in case people try to raid the balloon.
Everyone's always picking on Clapperclaw, throwing Clapperclaw around now. Clapperclaw's got the head.
Oh no!
As
The
as Quincy
spite.
was teaching Clapperclaw how to use the claws, Lucifer's over in a different corner teaching Star or training with Star using his braces as little like pads to use their tentacles for their tentacle melee weapon attack.
Okay. So yeah, you're kind of training it, kind of whipping as the tentacles whipping back and forth. You're kind of like poking a little bit to get good grasp. And
There you go. Yep, there you go. There you go. Good job. Good tentacle. Good tentacle. Nice.
But after some time, probably a good 7 to 8 hours or so,
Okay.
start to notice the hue around you change. As you're soaring above the clouds and enjoying the sunshine and the blue sky around, you hear Dandelion shout out, "My companions! We're nearing the area! What ho!" And as you look forward, you see these dark, rain storm clouds several feet ahead.
Hmm.
You get this sense of cold coming over, little droplets of rain starting to hit and peering against the storm weather balloon and hitting bits of your skin. Little tiny rumbles of lightning emanate and flash within the dark, purpley black hue of the clouds in front. Are you ready?
As will ever be.
Abby's on the edge of seeing the lightning. He's like, yeah!
I'm for it.
Abaca, take us down.
Lucifer grabs Star and just tries to protect him as much as possible from the rain, knowing that he doesn't like water.
And as the weather balloon starts to sort of do an arcing motion downward, you go closer and closer to the dense fog and thunderstorm clouds, and they start to envelop the basket around you as this damp humidity, cold humidity starts to whip against your face and your skin. The water droplets start to pour onto you as the rain droplets inside of this next part of Prismere, the rainfall start to get louder as you just hear a booming sound of rain just start to come towards you, like going through almost like going through a car wash machine. Just the hitting of the smattering of rain on the windshield just hits the basket and the insinuating area all around you. The thunder and the lightning start to clap and get a bit louder and a bit more closer together. Eventually, as the wisps of cloud start to go past you, you start to see the rocky terrain of Yon start to come into view. And I believe if we look on the Roll20 screen, we'll be able to transition into the brand new map and area of Yon. As your balloon starts to descend down forward, you are witness to a grand series of pathways that wend between rocky crags on a mountainside, with the sky dark and full of rolling thunder clouds. You are able to see various structures carved out of the stonework itself. You start to see almost like the castles themselves are carved out of rock and emanating and like built upwards from the mountainside itself. You can't see the ground beneath where the rocks and mountainside come up, as just the fog is just rolling and surrounding kind of the base side of it. But you see various lights coming out of various castle-like structures built out of the very rock itself. You see kind of pools of water emanating in some parts of the mountainside. Another area that looks like kind of Stonehenge with various rock formations coming down on various platforms, like a big platform-like piece of rock. And you start to see these almost cylindrical-like sculpted rock formations around one of these bodies of dark water. One of them having like a bit of an orange hue and smoke coming out of it, almost like a chimney. And you start to see these gleaming golden pieces of metal rod kind of sticking up in various places along this jagged, winding bit of mountain. Some look like suns with spikes coming out for the rays. Some look like crescent moons, and some look like stars. As one of the rays of lightning, as the petering of the rain sort of hits your storm weather balloon, one of the lightning goes and hits one of the golden rods, and a big burst of light kind of emanates from the top of it as the energy from the lightning simmers down to the base, going into some contraption below the rock. But as your balloon starts to descend down through this new gloomy mountain terrain known as Yon, it's there, everyone, that we gotta end the stream.
Lucifer got a kitty.
Yay.
Everybody's debating on throwing Capricorn out of the basket.
Wow.
What?
But that is our story tonight, everybody. Thank you all so much for joining us on this session of Wild Beyond the Witchlight. Thank you so much for everybody who came out and watched us today. You were all amazing. Thanks for all the hype trains, the follows. Thanks for everyone in the Dicecream community from Beyond the Realms and Witchlight and all of our one-shots that got us to 10K today. It's a big milestone for our channel. Make sure you all stay tuned for the raid that we're going to do to help another D&D TTRPG D&D stream out. If anyone here is a new viewer and wants to look at all of the past sessions we've done with Witchlight and any other stories done on the channel, please go check out our YouTube page. It is the backlog for every show that we've done on here. So if you guys want to watch this from the very, very start, you can head over there, subscribe, and we'll be posting them every week. But thanks, everybody, so very much. Love you all. Have a good night. Until next time, friends, stay safe, wash your hands. See you on Monday for Beyond the Realms D&D. Bye-bye.